What's going on, people? Welcome to another In Motion Football live stream. My name is Alam, and today we got to watch along for Cowboys and Bucks. We have a bunch of games to talk about, and we have some commiserating to do. So, like I always start with, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. There's like 5-6 people in here to start out the live stream. To anybody watching this after the fact on replay, you have the same opportunity to show your support for the content. So make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you appreciate what we have going on here. I see a few of my friends are in the chat here. Shout out to King K. He says, guess both of our teams didn't win. That's true. Both of our teams did not win. I see Gail is in here as well. Good to see you in here, Gail. Gail says, hi, Alam, tough loss. Sorry. It is indeed a tough loss, but I have some interesting stuff to share with you. I know both your teams are going to win the next ones. So, Gail, I have the same idea. I have the same prediction. I also think both me and King will be celebrating wins this time next week. I don't think he's as optimistic as I am, but I guess I'll do the heavy lifting in terms of being optimistic about next week. What else do we have? Yeah, so I wasn't wrong. King says I don't know about my team. Yeah, King is definitely a little bit more fed up. But yeah, the thing I wanted to mention to you guys, right? It's the holiday season, meaning people are doing things, and it's like peak time for socializing in life. So I kind of had to make a decision about how I wanted to spend today. And I was going to tell I realized at some point this week, the games are kind of shit. I think I want to just hang out with my friends. So I've come here to tell you guys, I did not watch any football today up to this point. I watched maybe the last 2 minutes of Dolphins and Niners. So yes, you guys might be asking, why the hell would you do a live stream if you didn't watch any football? To that I say, we can still talk. You guys can fill me in on what I missed. I did some box score watching. King says I didn't either. Okay, we're all in the same boat. Surfo, big up. I just want you to know, I didn't watch any football today. I didn't watch any football. So you guys are gonna have to fill me in. But yeah, I did box score watching. So I know what happened, and I know the general gist of the day, but I didn't watch anything. So this game starts off with the Cowboys in 3rd and 2. First drive of the game, I'm scouting the team that Kenny Pickett might have to hoop against next week. Oh my God, the community, guys, we're all in sync. We're all in sync. None of us watch football. Although I can't lie. I think Surfel probably watched football. Surfel, I'm guessing you watched football. Because I don't know. He came in and said Skol Vikings. That sounds like an excited football fan. But yeah, we're gonna have to fill each other in. Oh, he said I watched the Vikings. Okay. I like that because I talked about it couple streams ago. I was like, this week's schedule is horrible. The games are actually trash. And they expect us the weekend before the holidays to sit around and watch that. And then it occurred to me at some point, once I saw that Jalen Hurts got injured and knocked out of the game, I told myself, I was like, okay, God took me away from the screen for a reason. And lo and behold, when I saw the end result of the game, I was like, that's the reason. But yeah, we'll talk about that. We're definitely going to talk about that game, as with all the other games. Even though I was a certified box score watcher this week, where did we survive this Seattle in the rain test? Truthfully, I haven't seen my team pass that test very much, so congrats to you. We got 2nd and 5 for Dallas around midfield. I think Dallas officially got eliminated from playoff contention before the game. So they're playing here. They're playing in this game just to spoil things for Tampa. So we'll see how successful they are. But yeah, I'm looking next week. If we see Kenny Pickett versus Cooper Rush, I don't know who did the black magic on the Eagles and Cowboys matchup. But if you look at the past 4 or 5 years, the starting quarterbacks are never healthy for that game. Like Hurts and Dak have played each other maybe 3 times in their career because one of them is always injured. And for this game, there's a decent chance both of them are hurt. And like, before I actually get into the game, I'm pretty sure I talked about this on stream, but I don't know if I did. The worst possible thing that could happen to the Eagles is if they didn't know whether they could get the 1 seed or not, and they played through into week 18, right? That's the worst possible outcome. So like, here's the thing. I'm more upset about the fact that we're not going to have home field against Detroit or Minnesota, right? Because having to come to Philadelphia to play is one of the harder things that a team could do in the NFC when it comes to January and playoff time, right? When it comes to the bye week, could not care at all. Because here's the thing about what the Eagles can do now. Now that they know they're not getting the 1 seed, and now that they know they just have to win one game, right? They can honestly, like, they can use week 18 as a bye week. There's a decent chance they can, like, depending on how the Cowboys look this week, they could conceivably use the next 2 weeks as bye weeks. Like, you don't have to take these games all that seriously. Are you going to lose out and have Washington catch you from behind? Probably not, right? So the Eagles are basically locked into the 2 seed right now. They don't have to take these last 2 games seriously. They can chill. Like, the issue of the rest wasn't a huge thing for me. It was always about home field. Not having home field anymore is frustrating. There's a chance even if we won out, we wouldn't get home field anyways. But again, the thing that would have pissed me off the most is if we had to play all the way through week 18, kept playing our starters, kept accumulating injuries, and then all of a sudden at the end of week 18, we realize we're still the 2 seed. This side of things, not that bad, but we'll see. Should have flexed the Eagles to primetime, hell of a game. Well, if they flexed it to primetime, and hopefully Hurts wouldn't have got concussed. Because Kenny Pickett is not good hoops. And again, when I saw that Hurts wasn't going to play, I'm like, okay, thank God I'm not watching this game. Who is in charge of Black Magic? Who is in charge of Black Magic? Truthfully, if the Black Magic is on the Eagles and the Cowboys, my guess would be somebody related to the Giants and Commanders. And if I would have to guess, I would guess the Commanders, because I think that they have the most reasons to hate. Their situation is such a disaster. You know, I think that's the organization that would have to resort to Black Magic of all organizations. But yeah, considering that no football was watched today, that's the kind of football chat you're going to get today. We're going to get to the bottom of who's most likely to do Black Magic, and things of that sort. Current speculation is Taylor Swift because of how well things are aligning for the Chiefs. I do agree. I do think Taylor Swift, if you think about it, right? Taylor Swift is a global star. So she would have global connections and access to people all across the world. That's probably a person that would know a good Black Magic person. So I'm with that. Brandon Aubrey attempts a kick from 58 yards. And it goes through the uprights. 3 points for Dallas to start the game. So when this was announced when it was announced that this game wasn't going to get flexed, for 2 minutes, I was pissed. Because, again, I have no interest in watching Cooper Rush football. I've reiterated this on this platform for a long time. However, if you think about just the pure numbers that come with doing anything Cowboys related, I'm not that bad. I'm not that mad. We need some Black Magic on Wednesday. No, you guys just need terrible towels. That's what you need. Here's the thing. Did you guys have terrible towels in Philadelphia? No. Did you have terrible towels in Baltimore? No. Like, you would have had some, but not enough. On Christmas, in Pittsburgh, with King in the crowd, the cumulative effect of the terrible towels, it'll get you what you need. But we'll jump right into the recaps. And no better place to start than the Eagles losing by 3 points to the Commanders. So the first thing I want to say is I have no qualms with the offense not being that good, because while Saquon Barkley had a hell of a day on the ground, the passing game was ineffective. Why was the passing game ineffective? Because Jalen Hurts got knocked out of the game in the first quarter. So I don't really see a lot of value in being overly critical about the fact that this team didn't score all that many points, considering that the defense gave them a lot of turnovers, or like a lot of great field position from the turnovers. I'm not going to be overly critical of the fact that they had a pretty easy chance to put this game away after Jaden Daniels threw a pick. Because again, I just genuinely don't think Kenny Pickett is good at football. So if I know that my team played this game with a quarterback that I don't even think is good at football, where is the utility in being super critical about their failures as an offense, right? And even as is, you can talk about them failing. They scored 33 points with a backup quarterback. That's not that bad. The criticisms definitely are valid for the defense. Now, the defense gave up 36 points, 22 in the fourth quarter. That's way too much. And specifically, they gave up 380 yards of offense. This was an offense we held to about 120. No, we held the Commanders last time we played them to like under 200 yards of offense. So that's a huge variance, right? The defense got a lot of turnovers. I think they got 4 or 5 turnovers, right? A lot of turnovers. That's a positive, but you just did not get the job done. And the thing about the defense is like, my issue is reliability. It's not how good they are, because I've seen the defense play very, very good. But somebody asked me, I think Time to Shine asked me on Thursday. He asked me, how do you think the Eagles are going to fare? I said, I think they're probably going to play down to their opponent because that's what they do. They just had an amazing game against Pittsburgh. We're clicking on all cylinders. What happens after having such a great game? I predicted a bit of a letdown, and a letdown definitely happened. I'm thinking about how the defense has played against Carolina and this game against Washington, and I'm thinking you have some pretty bad like results against offenses that I don't think are great offenses. I don't think Washington's a particularly great offense, and obviously Carolina isn't a great offense either. I think this defense plays up to good competition. I think the Rams offense is better than both the offenses, right? And look at how we fared against the Rams. Yeah, the defense is unreliable. And when we talk about the teams on Tuesdays, and I put the chart up and I put the logo on different parts of the chart to show how I feel about the teams, I put the Eagles as middling in terms of reliability for this reason, because you can't always bank on which version of the team is going to show up. And again, today it's not about the offense. Like, I'm not going to criticize a backup quarterback failing, because that's what backup quarterbacks do in the NFL. For the most part, they fail. But yeah, the defense, you gave up 22 points in the fourth quarter to an offense that I don't think is that good. That's the kind of play that will lose you a playoff game. And yeah, just generally where it leaves me as an Eagles fan, I look at the defense and I just think that I've seen Bryce Young almost win a game at the end on the last drive. I've seen Jaden Daniels have a rough day going into a last drive and basically get the job done. Not basically, actually get the job done. So I leave both those drives thinking, if we leave a great quarterback in the playoffs an opportunity to win the game at the end, it's definitely going to happen. So that kind of helps me, like, I guess, just understand that the Eagles might not have that many different ways of winning football games. I've yet to see us win a shootout. And a part of the reason that I wouldn't feel confident about us in a shootout is because, again, if the other team has the ball at the end of the game and it's a game where the other offense has had success, yeah, I don't feel great about us getting a stop. I don't think we're a team that can afford to get into shootouts. I think we have to be a ball control team. And we definitely have the ability to be a ball control team. None of this is even a conversation if Jalen Hurts is healthy. Because if you look at how our offense was, if you look at how the moments that our offense had when Hurts was playing, and then even the moments that, not the moments, the way they played generally, because he barely played. And then the moments that they had with Pickett, we would have put up 50 on this team if Hurts was playing. I feel pretty good about that. And then none of this would be a conversation. But the thing about football is, it's a pretty chaotic sport. Anybody can get injured at any moment. And then when the wrong injury happens and the game becomes out of your control, it's pretty hard for a team to gain control of the game again. And I think that's what happened to Philadelphia. Philadelphia had a pretty great start, but I think the Commanders probably were pretty empowered to think, hey, they're playing with Kenny Pickett. At no point are we out of this game. So there's always going to be that conviction that the other team has. It doesn't matter if we're down 10, if we're down 14, we're playing Kenny Pickett. We're always in this game. I think if we're up 14 and we have Jalen Hurts, the Commanders probably think this game is over. But we didn't. We had Kenny Pickett. So bad combination of you can't like kill another team because you can never kill their spirit. Because they always know they have a chance. You're a one-dimensional team because you can't really throw the ball the way you could before. Your defense all of a sudden just has these crazy lapses out of nowhere. Because again, they played very good for a good chunk of that game. And then all of a sudden, CJ gets kicked out of the game, and then things just unravel from there. Again, I'm talking all this. I'm making all these comments having not watched a minute of this game. But just from what I picked up, I don't know if I can rely on this team. I'm gonna probably put them in the same spot I put them last week on the rankings of like, this team is a very good team. We just don't know if they're gonna show up as said very good team every single week. So those are the thoughts on this game. Didn't plan for Daniels' mobility. The spy wasn't watching. Bro, you saw more of the game than I did. So if the spy wasn't watching, that's ridiculous. Also, no. Before we, bro, no. before we move on from the game, guys, okay, I don't know if you guys actually watched the last drive that the Eagles had the ball. What I saw was they got the ball with roughly 2.5 minutes to go, 2 timeouts, meaning there's 3 stoppages of the game left. In my opinion, right? And I held this belief when we played Atlanta, the game that I was at, right? I thought the Eagles really mismanaged the end of the game, trying to be aggressive. So they tried to throw the ball to just outright end the game. And in doing so, they stopped the clock. They gave Atlanta time to go down the field. And Atlanta won the game at the end, right? I think I saw the Eagles coaching staff do the exact same thing today. And I'm not thrilled with that game mismanagement. In my opinion, you run the ball 3 times regardless of what happens. You run the ball 3 times regardless. Why? Because you want to kill all the other team's timeouts, make them use them, give them as little time. My feeling about the way Washington moved with the ball up until that point was, I don't think they can get down the field with 1:30 to go and no timeouts. So you might think, hey, if you pass the ball, the game is over, right? Or if you pass the ball and get the 10 yards, the game is over. Sure. But if you fail to complete the pass, you put the other team in the best possible situation they could be in, right? Because they have a timeout. That's what Washington had. They had 2 minutes and a timeout to get a touchdown. If you run the ball and let's say you fail, it's a much better situation to be in. Like, it's a much better, like both situations, if you try to attempt to get the 10 yards and you fail, you failed both times. But this situation you find yourself in when you fail by running the ball is far greater than the situation you find yourself in when you fail by throwing the ball. And this is my biggest concern, is I watched this team fail to understand that, like, the fact that that's the case. When they tried to throw the ball to Saquon Barkley to end the game in Atlanta, yes, he dropped the ball. And he should have caught it. But the point is that the play might not work. You have to acknowledge that whatever you decide to do, however confident you are in what your decision is, it's always possible it might not work. I would have done the same thing against Washington. Run the ball over and over and over again. Make Daniels drive down the field with 1:30 to go. So again, I don't think anything happened today that hasn't already happened this year. It would have just been nice to know that stuff is in the past, and now we know it isn't. So, okay, rant over. Okay, what do we got here? I see Prime is in here. I appreciate you, bro. As he says here, he says, run up the likes and subscribe, people. I appreciate the support, Prime. Okay. What do we have here? Winning against a team that's missing its star players isn't the same as winning against when everybody's healthy. A win is a win. That's why I'm pissed about a loss. A win, but it isn't satisfying. You know what it is? The thing is, a win is a win in the stat column, and a win is a win in terms of, like, I think for Washington, just beating Philadelphia is a thing for them. Like, that franchise obviously is a franchise that hasn't done a whole hell of a lot recently. So for them, beating a genuinely good team is going to make them feel good. So even because their premise for enjoying a win is kind of shameless and a low bar in the first place, I think a similarly low bar probably still lines up with what they're looking for. But if as an Eagles fan, I would feel this way, right? Like, if my team beats a backup quarterback, I'm getting nothing out of it. I'm building no expectations based on that. I'm not particularly rating my players that highly. No way. But again, a team like Washington, 100%. We're the third most interesting. Either way, a blowout is a blowout. Especially for a rival. So this is, but so I think this kind of shows that you guys are kind of getting at different things, right? Because King is saying that basically, like, hey, my team is hurt, and the players being hurt doesn't make the losses feel any better. They're frustrating, regardless of the situation, right? But I don't think that's actually what Gail's getting at in terms of the fact that, like, hey, if you win against the team that's missing players, you don't have like anything to really celebrate. Yeah, it's definitely not the same in terms of like what you build from it, or like what am I trying to say? Okay. A win is a win, and a loss is a loss in the win column, like in the standings. But yeah, in terms of how you evaluate a team and assess the team in the sense of like what we do with playoff landscaping, right? Yeah, those kind of things have to be factored in when we talk about did this team show that they're a Super Bowl contender? Did this team show that they're a playoff contender, right? Like Pittsburgh, losing games without players doesn't. Yo, Dallas is cooking. What the hell? Are they about to beat Tampa Bay right now? They're going to beat Philadelphia next week too, aren't they? Yeah, like Pittsburgh, right? Losing games as a banged up team to me doesn't say much about them as a healthy team because it's literally a different team. But that being said, losing games is still going to lose them the division, right? It doesn't change that. Like they're still going to potentially lose the division because they lost games. Wow, that was a horrendous drop. Oh God, it was. Tampa better lock in. No, actually, like that drop, I'm assuming this is the 4th down drop. That was really bad. And Tampa has to lock in because Atlanta won. Yeah, Atlanta beat the Giants. Atlanta's right there. Hey, hold on. Who does Atlanta? Oh, they play Washington. That's the other thing. You know what? I'm so mad about that game. Less because of the Eagles, more because that game Atlanta against Washington next week is not that important anymore. Had Washington lost, that game quietly would have been a playoff game. Atlanta versus Washington would have been like a head-to-head game for the 7th seed. Winner goes to the playoffs, loser goes home. And now it's not the case anymore because Philadelphia wants to be stupid. It is what it is. I can have a Steelers also. How will be and Cowboys win in 2 days? Hold on. Oh yeah. Okay. So hold on, King. I didn't know you didn't like Ohio. Oh, because you're Pennsylvania and Penn State, Ohio State is a thing. What's going on, Leon? Good to see you. Shout out to Leon. Happy holidays to everybody in the chat. Happy holidays to all the regulars that aren't here right now. And like I said, Leon, I don't know if you were here before, but I didn't watch any football today. Did some holiday socializing. Jalen Tolbert catches a touchdown in the back of the end zone on 3rd and 9. That was a hell of a catch too. Great body control to get his feet down. Yo, is Dallas hooping right now? Is Dallas actually doing this? I cannot believe this. The way they're highlighting Vita Vea. Why are they highlighting Vita Vea? No, this is wild. This is wild. I just don't like them in general. They're the Cowboys of college football. But here's the thing, King. Oh, are they the Cowboys because they used to be really dominant, but now they're not? Tampa Bay isn't ready. They had too much Texas barbecue. I think you might be onto something, Surfa. I think you might be onto something. They definitely saw Kirk get benched, and they probably felt like, okay, Atlanta is in a state of disarray, and Dallas is a thing. But when did I talk about this? I was talking about this with King. I think when I was when we were talking about Baltimore and Pittsburgh, right? This is a time of the year where straight up just motivation to play a football game is a legitimate factor when thinking about who's going to win a game, right? Like from the looks of it, right? Do any of us think that Tampa Bay is all of a sudden not a better team than Dallas? No. Does anybody think that like this means all of a sudden Dallas is like a good team or all of a sudden Tampa Bay is not a good team? No. But I think what we're seeing so far is pretty clearly that Dallas saw that their season is over and they're like, you know what? Our season is over. We have absolutely nothing to lose. What we're playing for is money in the offseason, opportunities in the offseason. The coaches are coaching for like everybody is now basically playing for a check and with nothing to lose. And Tampa Bay is a team that truthfully, I don't know why they're coming out flat. But if, in my opinion, their reason to come out flat would just be to underestimate Dallas. So they underestimated a team that they probably don't think is very good. The team that isn't very good is thinking, "Hey, we're not we're not the best, but we have a great opportunity in front of the whole football world right now, Sunday Night Football, to make names for ourselves." So we'll see if this holds. I don't think it will, but this is an intangibles result. Nobody can tell me that this means Dallas is better than Tampa. Good thing Taz isn't here. He's like, oh, I should always say stay here and never win. This is true. This is intrinsic to Cowboys fandom, Yankees fandom, Lakers fandom, Manchester United fandom, There's probably a few others. I barely watch football. Kind of clocked out. Let's go, Leon. Leon, the whole community said the same thing. All of us. Surfel watched the Vikings. None of us watch football though. You know what that means though? Man, I think it's really really cool that all you guys that didn't tap into football decided to come tap in here to talk about football, despite the fact that none of us are really locked in today. I think that's very cool. I really appreciate you guys for being here. And we're going to do our best to try to figure out what the hell happened today. Falcons beat the Giants. So here's the thing, right? Giants lost the game, locked into the number 1 overall pick. The wildest shit ever to me in this game is the fact that it doesn't even look like Atlanta had a good day offensively, and they had 34 points. So I got to investigate this and see what happened, because Atlanta had 330 yards of offense. That's not that many. 202 in the air. Their ground game averaged 3 yards a carry. Like, the thing about this game by the Giants, this is probably the worst. Like, this is the lowest of the low. To not, like, the other team didn't even play well. They just accidentally got 34 points. So the Giants are definitely going to get the number 1 overall pick. It looks like Shedeur Sanders is coming to the NFC East. And to that I say, that offensive line in New York probably took years off of Saquon Barkley's career. Shedeur Sanders played at Colorado behind a horrible offensive line and got beat up his whole college career. Something has just never changed. I think he's going to go to the Giants and get absolutely destroyed behind that offensive line. They are not going to be able to protect him. And he will not have a good time as a Giant, I don't think. My belief about young players is that nobody's fate is written. Like, a player isn't a person with a set out path going forward. I think a big part of how people's careers turn out is where they end up. So do they end up with a successful team that knows what they're doing, that is able to put a good supporting cast around them and give them good coaching? If so, you're probably going to get a prospect, best case scenario, whatever that is. The best case scenario is determined by the player. But if that same player gets put into a horrible situation, bad coaching, bad supporting cast, bad everything, right? They're probably going to have whatever their worst case scenario is for their career. So this is the thing, right? Like, I look at a player like DK Metcalf. You put DK Metcalf on the Browns. Actually, I lied. Not the Browns. Did he drop another pass, or did Jordan Lewis tip that? Don't tell me Sterling Shepard dropped that. But yeah, I don't really hear that, especially now. Okay, I think the Lakers have just been beaten into submission though with so many like rough teams. They have. Wait, it was tipped. Okay, because I think like they've had so many playoff embarrassments. It's changed. He's playing at MetLife. Play for bro. I believe Shedeur will pull an Eli in the Giants. You know what it is, Leon? I would have felt the same way had Dion not outright, like, the Sanders family has been outright denying these things as of late. What a play by Rachaad White to get that first down. The effort there to make the most out of a horrible situation. Wow, they're marking him short. Oh, God, Tampa Bay. Yeah, Tampa Bay, they clearly did too much partying this weekend. This is a horrible game for them so far. But yeah, this is my thing. The Sanders family, like, not Shiloh, the third brother. Oh, I think it's Dion Jr., hilariously enough. Dion Jr. came out and said, like, the Eli rumors for Shedeur is cap. And then Dion said it as well. I forget where he was. So the thing is, I believe that the only reason they wouldn't pull an Eli to get out of the New York is because clearly the Sanders family are a marketing. It's like they think about marketing for everything they do. That is like that family knows how to brand themselves. What better market to be a brand in than New York? And I think that's the angle there. Look, I think they all believe like in Shedeur's ability, but I think they also know that football is an unpredictable thing. But you know what is predictable? That the Sanders brand would do numbers in New York. And that's what's going to happen. They're going to go to New York. They're going to do a ton of business. They're going to make a lot of money. Whether the career works out or not, who knows? Who knows? But I think they're going to make the most of that. And I need you or the Colts to lose to the Giants. So, Leon. We got you. Week 18 against New York. We're putting out Kenny Pickett. What's his name? Will Shipley, Anaya Smith, Johnny Wilson. Do you know any of those names aside from Kenny Pickett? No. And there are a bunch of rookies that are going to show up, and we are going to definitely lose to the Giants in Week 18. Again, this was my thing. Now that we know we have nothing to play for, really, we can take it easy with injuries for the next 2 weeks. We can go into the wild card. We can go into the wild card round very healthy. And if we lose on wild card weekend, then blow the whole thing up anyways. We're never doing anything in the first place. Again, my frustrations with not having the 1 seed is strictly home field against Detroit/Minnesota. Hold on. What is this a reference to? New York. But yeah. Just to quickly recap this game, or to finish the recap, my issue is you saw that Penix didn't look ready to play today, right? Because he got 200 yards, 1 interception, no touchdowns. He needs time to get his feet set, get his feet underneath him, to get his bearing straight as a NFL quarterback. You're making him do that in week 17 or 16, whatever it is. This should have happened a few weeks ago so that he could have had these games, got them out of his system, and then he should have been rolling by now. Because, look, if Dallas wins this game, Atlanta's going to be a division winner and host a playoff game. They're going to have to host a playoff game with a quarterback playing his 4th career start. That's asinine. You did not benefit anything from playing Kirk Cousins this long. So Atlanta, bozo franchise that made silly decisions. Giants, also a bozo franchise that makes silly decisions. These teams, it was a matchup of those kind of teams. The New York marketing. I'm still a little bit lost. Wait, is this a thing about how they play in New Jersey? Because the thing is, while they do play in New Jersey, the market is still New York. The stadium is not physically in New York, but the market for where they do business is still the city. He's gonna be everywhere on Times Square. Rico Dowdle gets the check down to make it second and manageable. Oh, man, this is really tough for Tampa Bay, too, because if you think about how Dallas is built as a team, especially with Cooper Rush, they're built to play from ahead. The part of the problem that they have as a team is that they just don't find themselves ahead that much. But in terms of their defense being small and athletic and not really being well equipped to go up against a power running attack, they're small and athletic. It's better for covering the space of a field, running around, covering guys, rushing the passer, right? And then offensively, right? With Cooper Rush, they're obviously built to manage a game. They're not built to do numbers and make explosive plays down the field. They're built to just man. So Dallas is built to manage a game. They just almost never find themselves with the opportunity to manage a game. This is their opportunity. So Tampa Bay, congratulations. You put Dallas in, a very advantageous situation for them, and we'll see if they can claw their way out of the hole that they put themselves in. It's in New York's landfill, so in my opinion, that's still that's true though. That's true. I've heard. You know what's funny? I've heard people talk about East Rutherford like that for so long. It's so funny how such a. I'm not gonna lie to the people and act like the Jets and Giants are prestigious institutions, right? But New York sports is supposed to be prestigious, and they put them in a swamp, apparently, allegedly. I'm not familiar with East Rutherford like that. Next game we can get into is Lions and Bears. Okay, so hold on. Again, this was something I did not see a second of, and I'm gonna quickly do some box score scouting. The Lions had 500 yards of offense almost. My goodness, you got 500 yards of offense on the road. They should disband the Bears for that. The Bears ran the ball 9 times with running backs. I lied, 10 times with running backs for 23 yards. Yeah. Damn. I have nothing to say other than damn. This yes, straight belt to ass. Man. Why did you guys have to do them like that, Detroit? So Detroit, obviously, motivated by all the talk about them falling apart, considering all the injuries. I don't think this game says a whole lot about Detroit. I think this probably says more about Chicago and just how dire that situation is. You have a home game at the end of the year. Things haven't been going well. It's against a division rival. It's against a team you almost beat. Again, this what I'm talking about when I talk about the Cowboys right now. That shit applies to the Bears too. Everybody's playing for opportunities and playing for again potential future contracts, future opportunities to play more. And they've just folded, which just shows you how discouraging the environment is there. Like clearly, there's no belief that even in pursuit of more opportunities, they still can't get anything done. So, yeah, the Bears are a complete mess. Fold that team, shut it down, move the team to a different city. Chicago's a mess. Gail says it a lot in the chat. Our Chicago correspondent talks about how much of a mess that organization is. When you are checking stats, which app do you use? Oh, you know what would be amazing? If I had like a sponsored app, that would be very cool. And actually, 4144. Okay, I'm going to keep this in mind. If I ever get a new position to have an officially sponsored app, because the scoreboard here, one day, I would hope that somebody pays me to put their website up here. Okay, I say that all to say thank you, Gail, for letting me take this screenshot. Because like, I'm gonna take this screenshot right here. This is what I'm gonna show somebody one day. But I use an app called The Score. The Score is actually very interesting. The Score started out as a local Toronto sports like company. Like they used to do radio broadcasting and TV broadcasting, and they got overtaken by the big companies. So like, or not overtaken. They got basically put out of business as a radio and TV thing. So they turned into an app, and the app has been successful. Like global, like it's just an app now. It's just a regular sports app that people all over the world use. But it's actually Toronto based. But it's called The Score. I don't know if that's one word or two words. No, so basically, yeah, THESCORE, no spaces. But yeah, that's my website. Yeah, they play in this one bunch of waste, man. The Score is elite until Rogers brought them. Oh, see, Leon knows, fellow Canadian. Leon knows. The Score was actually, they had so much good talent. Like The Score was, oddly enough, full circle moment. Yes, Rogers. Oh, okay, King. I can give you a bit of a lesson on this really quickly. But 100%, man. Like The Score had actual like sportscasting talent that was interesting. Like people with personalities that made talking about sports on TV look fun. Oddly enough, the kind of talent that they used to have is probably a part of the inspiration that I would even feel like I wanted to do something like this, right? Bingo. The Score was the best channel. Their shows were actually amazing. And a lot of I just wonder what you thought was the best. Oh, I don't even know if it's the best. It's just good, and it's what I'm used to. So yes, King, Rogers is a massive company in Canada. So basically, the way you guys have Sprint, AT&T, T-Mobile, all these different companies, right? In Canada, we kind of unfortunately have two companies that dominate, Bell and Rogers, in terms of anything related to television, telephones, internet, these kind of things, right? And because that's the case, man, Rogers gets to buy up so much stuff. Like they buy up arenas, like Rogers Arena. There's a Rogers Center, a Rogers Arena, a Rogers Place. Yeah, I literally think Vancouver's arena is called the Rogers Place or something like that, right? And they just mess everything up. Everything, whenever Rogers invests in something, consider it dead because it's about to be a corporate money machine that is absolutely shit for the consumer. Verizon equals Rogers for Canada. Both the Oilers and Canucks teams have their name. Yes, it's horrible. And then the Toronto main stadium is called the Rogers. I think it's called the Rogers Arena. No, what is it called? Yeah, the Rogers Arena. No, what is it called? Why am I tripping? Oh, the Rogers Center. It's called the Rogers Center. Yes, like the Montreal Bell Center. Okay, I see King as a hockey fan. I'm learning. I guess he's a Penguins fan. But yeah, no, Bell and Rogers, bro, they own everything. There's such, because again, telephone, internet, TV, these are essential services. Every household in Canada will pump money into that industry. So if two companies, but one, like, they both dominate the industry, but also because they've agreed to more or less not put each other out of business, they can both set prices that are really high. They can both make a lot of money, and they're both way too rich for their own good for that reason. It's actually a pretty big point of contention. Like, a lot of people want the government to step in and basically facilitate the growth of other companies so that this can become a competitive marketplace. Because in America, phone plans, internet plans, TV plans, they're all way more reasonably priced because it's actually a competitive market. In Canada, it's not competitive, so the consumer gets completely screwed. The Maple Leafs are Scotiabank. Yeah, Scotiabank, they're cool. I'm okay with Scotiabank. They've done some good things for me. But yeah, the Bell Center, Rogers Arena, all of them. Oh, but yeah, actually, I was in the middle of something. Rogers Center is what the Sky, like, they used to call that building the Sky Dome, and the Sky Dome has so much cultural cachet in Toronto. Like, there's so many people that still call it the Sky Dome because, one, it's a much cooler name, and again, two, it was that for the longest time while a lot of iconic local Toronto things happened there. And then Rogers bought it, called it the Rogers Center, and we all hate that. Bucky Irving up the middle. Surfell says Tampa is waking up. 100%, they're waking up. See, what it is when you eat a lot of really junky food, usually it takes a little bit of time to work it off. I think Tampa Bay, all the Texas barbecue they ate, probably took a little bit of time to work that off, and now they're back functioning again. But yeah, Dallas, I guess the enthusiasm to start the game may have worn off. But let me see. What did Tampa do to get down the field this quickly? Oh, it was basically one big play to Evans. They do a toss to the left to Bucky Irving. Yeah. 100%. Oh, the Blue Jays are owned by Rogers as well. Actually, the Rogers owning them is a big part of the reason they're going nowhere as a team. I actually like baseball. I would love to like baseball more, but I will never will because the Blue Jays have no hope. They monopolized the whole telecommunications for Canada. I'm out here paying 100 CAD for my phone plan. This is real. This is real. Me and Leon and most Canadians probably feel very passionate about how much of a mess this situation is. I see you, Daniel. Good to see you in the chat. Welcome back. Our Colts correspondent, as Bucky Irving scores a touchdown, 10-7. Colts have a slight chance at the playoffs. Give me hope. Gus Bradley out. Yeah, the Colts definitely have a chance. It's definitely possible. Unfortunately, I think if anybody benefits from teams slipping, it'll be Cincinnati because you guys need a very particular thing to happen. You need Cincinnati to beat Denver and then also Cincinnati to lose against Pittsburgh. Like, you need exact outcomes to happen, and that makes it kind of tricky because, truthfully, the Chargers are not going to lose. I don't know if Jen Will is here today, but the Chargers are not losing against the Raiders or the Patriots. FSG out. FSG, man. I wonder if they fully understand how hated they are. But I don't think there's a fan base that hold on. Are the numbers out for each team's chances? I haven't seen them, Surfa. I haven't seen them, but bro, the wild card would have looked way more interesting in the NFC if Jalen Hurts didn't get hurt today. The wild card's basically done in the NFC. But yeah, the AFC, again, we're gonna do Broncos and Bengals as a live stream on Saturday because for playoff implications, that's a huge game. But yeah, man, Bo Nix, proud owner of some of the wildest slander names I've ever heard. Cannot believe it. I think both can happen. Yeah, that's the thing. Both can happen, but you need 100% hit rate with the outcomes you need. There's no room for error in the slightest. That being said, though, you guys are going to win your games because you guys play the Giants and the Giants and the Jaguars, you guys are 100% getting those W's. It's just a matter of whether you get the right outcomes outside of that. But okay, let's look at the next game. Browns Bengals again. Okay, quick box score check. What happened in this game? Did DTR get more than 100 yards passing? Oh, he got 157. Let's go. That's progress. But DTR 157 yards in the air, 2 picks and 5 sacks. God damn. The Browns. Wait a second, guys. The Browns ran the ball 15 times with running backs, threw the ball 34 times, and like the DTR ran the ball 9 times. So if you think about like, if you borrow the NBA's concept of usage, DTR used the ball 43 times and running backs used it 15 times. Tell me how that's a recipe for success. And the crazy thing here too is that it's not actually I did the math wrong. No, I didn't. 15 runs with running backs for 99 yards. Guys, that's a great average. That's like 6 yards a carry. So they ran the ball effectively, but they refused to run with a ineffective quarterback. That is absurd game management. I don't know if the coach in Cleveland is trying to get fired. You have bought stock on Bo Nix working in the Sean Payton offense. Surfel, so you know what my so I accurately predicted that the Broncos would draft him, right? And you know why I felt good about that? My whole take was if you fall in love with Taysom Hill as a quarterback, you have to also like Bo Nix. Those evaluations have to run parallel to each other. There's no chance you could like one and not like the other. That doesn't make any sense at all. So I remember saying this. I'm like, guys, I think the Broncos are just going to take Bo Nix. And they've been, nah, it's way too high in the draft. I'm like, I hear it. But those two evaluations have to run beside each other. And lo and behold, they did. Again, Surfel, you buying stocks in Bo Nix and also being the Taysom Hill Defense League. Those two evaluations also run side by side. So you love to see synchronicity. You love to see synchronicity. Jonathan Taylor messed up last time and scored 3 touchdowns. He's a troll. Jonathan Taylor owed the Colts, man. He owed the Colts. He owed the fans. He owed everybody the game today that he had. You mean Mo Picks. Mo Picks is the safe one. The other slander name that I saw in the chat was crazy. I think Jen will put it there. Cooper Rush takes a deep shot. He has CeeDee Lamb. That's CeeDee Lamb? Oh, my God. Cooper Rush out here playing good football. CeeDee Lamb, guns in the celebration. We don't care about fines at all. Where was I at though? Oh yeah, I was in the middle of this, but the game is on, so we'll get back to this. Toss to Rico Dowdle. Gets them a couple yards. They flagged JJ's gritty as a taunt today. Wait, did he do anything crazy? Was the gritty directed at somebody? Was it a directed gritty? Was it a like gritty with an intended recipient? What did he do? Did he like point at somebody? Did he point at like 2 people? Wait, has anybody ever like found a way to incorporate guns into a gritty? Because I feel like that has to happen at some point. I just haven't seen it yet. He kind of pointed at them. Honestly, though, that's Minnesota wide receiver heritage, man. It started with Randy Moss mooning the Packers fans. Now we're here. But this is just a part of your franchise. So, I mean, congrats, I guess, because I do think it's a pretty fun thing to have as an organization. It really wasn't that much of a taunt. I mean, I hear it, but to be honest, I think like the thing is, I can understand them cracking down on the gun stuff. That makes complete sense. Although, in my opinion, it kind of doesn't. But at least I can wrap my head around a logic. But yeah, like that's not fun, man. Let people gritty. Let us gritty. Also, I actually want to take this even further. Let people taunt. Like, I think taunting polices itself, because I actually think that like taunting for the most part, it accumulates some bad karma. Like when Zay Flowers taunted L'Jarius Sneed in the AFC Championship game and then fumbled at the goal line right after that, I'm like, that's taunting policing itself. You don't have to, again, you don't have to police something that I think the universe polices on its own. And I think it's entertainment anyways. Context. Okay, let's see. Incomplete pass to Lamb. Oh, it's because he's grittying while looking at him and following him with the gritty. That's weak. Because my thing is, right, if I was Justin Jefferson, I would be like, look, I was grittying this direction regardless. You got to tell him to not walk in my gritty path. Like, you need to tell him to have some better awareness. Maybe that's why he couldn't cover me, because he's not really great at understanding where people are going. Would probably a pretty big part of playing DB. But his lack of awareness with my grittying route mirrors his lack of awareness for my wide receiver route. And that's both why I scored a touchdown and why I was dancing. So you're going to punish me for him not knowing where I'm going to be? Come on, man. Put the fries in the bag, ref. Eli Apple is a prime candidate for karma on taunting. This is true. And this is 100%, this is true, right? So whatever, if you think Eli Apple was like is somebody who did too much taunting, think about the fact that there ended up being a diss track online of Eli Apple, right? Like, that's what his karma brought him. His karma brought him a random dude from New Orleans dissing him in a song. And by the way, I think that's one of the better disses I've ever heard. Like, Not Like Us is up there. Ether is up there. No Vaseline is up there. But that Eli Apple diss is right there with them, in my personal opinion. If you guys have not seen the Eli Apple diss from Twitter, somebody got to throw that in the chat. That was prime entertainment. But yeah, we got 11 people watching live right now. I think over 60 people have dropped by throughout the live stream. Shout out to everybody that's enjoyed the stream so far. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to keep us rolling as a channel. We're on the road to 150 subs. We're 7 subs away. So I hope to hit that before the start of the playoffs, and then hopefully the playoffs can be another little push, and then we roll strong into the off-season content. But yeah, I was talking about this game. It looks like the Browns had a horrible approach to playing with DTR, so that doesn't surprise me. Or like it doesn't. Well, that kind of makes it make sense why their offense was bad. Bengals side of things, it looked like they had a steady day, nothing out of the ordinary, really. But I guess my big takeaway for Cleveland is just like Myles Garrett. He just put out the most professional trade request I've ever seen. Like, that guy is a company man, and like, bravo to him or not, depending on how that makes you feel. But like, I cannot believe he did that. He fully like. That's the least controversial public trade request I've ever seen. But he said, hey, they have to illustrate to me a viable plan to be good like soon, or else I don't want to play here. And that's a rhetorical request, because it's not a question. That is a rhetorical request, because there's no correct answer. There's nothing the Browns can do to show you, hey, this is our plan to be good immediately with how much money they have tied up to Deshaun Watson. That money is more or less money that they just burned. Right? So they're not going to be good. There's no chance. So when you say, hey, if this team is good, I'd love to be here, but if not, I don't want to be here, you're basically saying I don't want to be here. So Myles Garrett, the sweepstakes this offseason will be sensational. And I don't know how interested Howie Roseman is in throwing money into the future, but bring me Myles Garrett. However irresponsible that is for the future. But the Bucs are going to get the ball back, down 6. Dallas gets a field goal. I hear it. King heard us talking about the rivals, and he said, let me throw in some Deshaun Slander. And King, did you not see that he basically, I don't know if it was a press conference or I don't know what it was, but he basically put out a quote talking about how my hope is to end my career in Cleveland, but I'm not interested in being a part of a rebuild. So while I would love to stay here, the team has to show me. He said, I forget the words he said. I want to be specific, but he said they have to illustrate exactly how they're going to become good, like in the immediate future. So basically, I'm hearing that as get me the hell out of here, which I think is what's going to happen in the offseason. But congratulations, King. You don't. Disco said we're being toxic about teams. Disco, I think we're always going to be toxic about teams. Always. I think that's an important part of sports fandom. I think being healthy about teams, there's no such thing as being healthy about teams. Because here's the thing, 32 teams, one team wins in the end. That means 31 teams lost. There's no, that's a toxic environment. 31 out of 32 fan bases are sad, some degree of sad. That's not a only way to go about this is toxicity. Basically, either we're a better team or I'm leaving, right? But here's the thing, telling the Browns, you guys have to be better or I'm out, is basically saying I'm out. You know what it's like? Oh, I actually don't want to get too wild with the comparison here. Yeah, I'm going to sidestep this one. I don't know, man. It's like telling your ooh. Nah, it's like telling a short person, like, either be tall in 2 weeks or I'm out of here. Or either be tall in 2 weeks, I'm out of here. It's like, what are they going to do? They're going to be short in 2 weeks. And then you're going to be out of here. So that's what he did. Get him the fuck out of the factory of sadness. Yo, King, you can... Surfel sees... Surfel, you see the vision. 100% King, you cannot worry about a dude swinging helmets at your quarterbacks anymore. You can safely say that your quarterback is never going to have a skull fracture anymore. You were never safe. Your quarterbacks were never actually safe until that happened. Until Garrett said what he said. Now you can rest assured your quarterbacks will have intact skulls. F the Patriots, why couldn't you just win? I mean, bro, they're the Patriots. They got a 14. I was waiting for this. Bro, they're the Patriots, bro. They are very bottom of the barrel right now. Like, very aggressively bottom of the barrel. Honestly, I don't get how players can sign contracts and can then just ask to be traded. Yes, Disco Flash. We are a diverse streaming community. We have all kinds of different fans here. One day we're gonna have fans of all 32 teams. Okay. So Gail, this is a great kind of understanding of leverage, right? Because technically, anybody can ask for a trade, and the team could just be like, "No, honor your contract, sit down, and just play." Right? Anybody can ask for a contract, and anybody can get that answer. However, the reality is that a great athlete has a lot of leverage in a situation. So you can tell that athlete, again, you have to show up. And one, they can decide to not show up, and that you suffer. At the end of the day, like, again, this is just in nature. Like, this is a very natural leverage situation. If you don't show up, the team does suffer. There have been situations where the players have been home, the team says, to hell with you, and it's fine, right? Myles Garrett's the kind of player where that doesn't really apply to him. Now, the player could also just look at that and say, you know what, I am going to show up, and drag their feet through everything, go through the motions, set a horrible vibe, set a horrible precedent, lead some of his teammates astray, and you suffer. So the reality is a high level athlete who's taking up a big part of your salary cap, meaning he's taking up a big part of your resources, they do have a lot of leverage. Now, I don't think a lot of them have enough leverage to be like that, but some do. And the ones that do, a player like a LeBron James has put out a masterclass on how to use leverage. Now, his masterclass is using leverage, not necessarily like using it to get great things, because I actually think that LeBron has put together some horrible teams. But leverage is natural, right? There's a lot of situations where the team has leverage, and there's not when the team has leverage on you, there's nothing you can do about that. Similarly, when a player has leverage on a team, there's nothing a team can do about that. And Josh Allen played like ass. He's due. One of all the teams you pick. Oh damn! Out of all the teams, Vikings Nation for the playoffs. Interesting. I wonder what the reason is. If we don't make the only team that was winning around 04. Oh yeah, so this is the thing. Disco Flash. Leon is from a part of Canada that's probably closer to Boston than Buffalo. Like I'm very close to Buffalo and Detroit, but he's not. He's probably the closest football team to him is probably New England. So that's interesting. There are some Patriots fans that are not just like bandwagoners. Because that's right, Leon? Like if you wanted to drive from where you are to Buffalo, it's probably the same distance as you to Boston. But yeah, Gail, like what I would compare it to is like, let's say you have a restaurant and in the restaurant you have one dish that sells really, really, really well. And you have one chef that can make that dish. Technically, that chef is your employee, but they have a ton of leverage. And you can only wrestle that leverage back by finding another chef that can make that dish. But if your business becomes solely dependent on one employee, it doesn't matter that that's your employee. They have too much leverage. And that's the thing about star athletes is that that's what they are. They're the one employee in a business that really moves the needle with the business. It's like if you're a record label and you have 17 artists, but really only one of them makes serious money. They have a lot of leverage. I'm seeing Baker Mayfield get sacked on third down. So the same thing applies for athletes. We got no Jags fans because they had themselves. Disco Flash. There once was a Jags fan that was very upset at my Jags season preview before the year, like not this year, but before last year. There was a Jags fan that was very pissed off at what I had to say about his team. That being said, I told that Jags fan, I'm like, I will hand you the link. Come to my live streams, or forget that. Come to the chat. We can talk about the Jaguars. I ended up being right, and he never showed his face again. But yeah, I really wanted there to be a Jaguars fan. I'm gonna find his account. Can you message people's accounts on YouTube? YouTube doesn't have a message system. Man said, I wish I saw him. I would flame him. Man, you don't have to flame him. Life already flamed him enough. Closer are the Jets, Giants, Patriots, probably tied Eagles, Bills. Okay. Interesting. Oh, yeah. That one Jets. See, but that Jets fan was wild because that was just like completely delirious. He called me and Peter bandwagoners for liking the Eagles and the Ravens. And I'm like, yo, do you not understand that being a Philadelphia sports fan is not a good thing? Nobody would willingly want that for themselves. That life chooses you. And in Baltimore, who bandwagons Baltimore? Baltimore was a good franchise for a long time, but before Lamar, they were one of the most swaggerless franchise. Actually, I lied. I'm going to take that back. They were the most swaggerless offensive franchise for a long time. Their defense was awesome, but their offense had absolutely no vibes. Nothing to cheer for, nothing to get behind, and nothing to get excited about. Who would sign up for that if given the choice? But yeah, my Colts suck, but I never hide. Daniel's a real one. Daniel's an absolute real one. He wasn't a true fan of his team then. This is true. And this is the thing too, guys. Here's what I said about the Jaguars. I said this was after they made the playoffs and beat the Chargers, by the way. I said, guys, they're basically the exact same team. As an NFL fan, I'm a little bit familiar with the fact that when you show up as the exact same team as last year, the team can use all the whole year's footage to really like study you and analyze you and figure out your weaknesses. A big part of football is like the idea of presenting something new to teams as often as you can, so that you can give as many unscouted looks to the other team. When everything you do has already been scouted for a whole year and then you add more to it, you will be found out. And it happened that year. They weren't good. They dropped down. And then, to be honest, they did the exact same thing this offseason. The only thing they changed, like forget offense, the whole team was Brian Thomas Jr. Travis Etienne is there. Evan Ingram is there. A bunch of mid-ass receivers are there. Some of them might be different, but it's the same shit. Different player, same concept, right? Defensively, more or less the same pieces. They just showed up as the same team 3 years in a row, and what do you know? Every single year they've dropped off. You cannot do that in football. So that was my thing. It was a very fair thing to say. It was very reasonable. It was very well reasoned. And he had a bunch of negative things to say. And I said, look, I'm not mad. I might be wrong. You might be right. But let's have the conversation. And he never showed up again. None of us ever had. Guys, I didn't even watch the game today. It would be if I told you guys, I didn't watch any football today, salute. I'm not ready to talk about it. That's probably valid. But even then I showed up anyways. I showed up to shit on the coaches and the defense even when I didn't watch them. I might have been wrong with everything I had to say, but I don't think I am. I don't have to hide. I know we're lucky. Honestly, Disco Flash, the last time the Chiefs actually probably would have had to hide was like Matt Castle era. Because even the Alex Smith era, like, did they have some embarrassing playoff losses? Sure. But they were still a pretty respectable team. Like, Matt Castle, Todd Haley, those were the times. What else do we have going on here? We got third down for the Cowboys, approaching halftime. How you only score? I don't have to tell back when my team loses. This is true. This is true. King is a very high standards fan, which I respect. How you only score 8 points in the fourth quarter? This is truly embarrassing. This is truly embarrassing stuff. We got a big 3rd and 9 though for Dallas, their own side of the field. They just motioned the fullback into the backfield, so you know he's gonna block. There's no reason he's there to do anything other than block. What do you know? Oh my god, that was such a weird set of things, right? Because so the thing I don't like about that kind of an action there, the fullback gives away that he's blocking. So the Cowboys basically gave away that we're only gonna run 4 receivers on this play. That should make playing defense much easier. And then somehow, some way, the Cowboys still scheme up a wide open receiver. So that was a really bad play from the defense. And then the wide open receiver catches it sloppily, doesn't even get running immediately, trips over his own feet, and then he still gets the first down. Absolutely horrible play defensively by Tampa Bay. I'm actually excited for the game. I won't be toxic because you're nice-ish. Yeah, I'll be honest. Stay toxic. Stay toxic. It's a lot more fun. Prefacing being toxic is nasty. Trust me, you don't want to see me. You know what it is? I actually haven't had the experience yet of live streaming while people in the chat are fighting. And I actually kind of want to see it happen one day. Because like I've seen, because I know it's at Sarcasm City, Flawless usually squashes like any fights. I don't know if I would be the same. I might damn near throw a watch party. You know what'd be really funny? Like if this window here, if people start beefing, right? Instead of having this window here, I'll open up just the chat stream on a window and we'll just have the watch along for the beef. Like, forget the game. The game will be back when the beef is over. But this beef is here for this moment only. There will always be another Sunday Night Football. There may never be another beef. Cooper Rush on 3rd and 4 takes a deep shot to CeeDee Lamb, who gets interfered with, catches the ball anyways, and still gets yards. And he's hurt now, but it's okay because what a play. What a play from CeeDee Lamb. He's too hurt to do his gun celebration. Yo, do a sad gun celebration. Can you imagine? God damn. Yeah, let's get this. Let's get the sad guns. No? Don't make the Patriots be great again. So this is the thing, right? Are the Patriots going to be great again? I'll be honest, I don't know. But Drake May is going to be really good. Like, I'm so sold on him as a player. Drake May is going to be very good. Oh no, bro! You didn't spoil. I don't know. Maybe you spoiled it for somebody in the chat, but I caught your chat after he caught the ball. What happened to him? Did he get dragged shoulder first into the ground? probably that was it. Also, guys, by the way, feel free to spoil. Like, if you guys spoil, I don't mind because I can just look up and miss the chat if I want to. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys. A chance to actually go up 14 going into halftime. Let me see who starts the second half with the ball. Man, Dallas is doing a great job of, like, again, I did not expect this from them in this game. Now, I've heard a lot of people talk about how the Bucs defense isn't the same anymore. I've heard a lot of chat, but I'm experiencing it for the first time because vintage Todd Bowles defenses, this would never happen. Let me see who starts the second half with the ball. Tampa starts the second half with the ball. Okay. I mean, at least if Dallas goes up here, they'll have that. No, the ethos of Bill Belichick and Brady are gone. There's no proper lineage. We are losing recipes. Some recipes are needed for a makeover and change. So the ethos of Bill Belichick and Brady are gone. This is true. This is why I said, like, bro, I'm actually not exactly sure. Because basically for the Patriots to be a great team again, the Kraft family has to correctly identify the next head football guy. Because they have no, like, Belichick was the head football guy. Like, a lot of organizations will have, like, management structure and then a coaching structure, right? Bill Belichick was everything. And I guess this is the part of the trouble with pivoting is that you're not like dipping your toe into a new regime. You're going head first. So the Patriots have to basically correctly identify. You're not going to find another Bill Belichick because I actually don't think we'll ever see another like executive and coach in the same person. I think they're going to have to just like, I actually think that's the key thing. Forget the coach. Because if you get a great executive, you can get the coach. Oh, he said you want to see toxic. We'll go right into toxic. But yeah, so that's the thing. I think if they find, again, great executive, then they will be great because they have the quarterback. I actually think like if you think about New England and Chicago, they should be, well, actually, Chicago, it maybe isn't going to feel, it's not going to be the same anymore. But I think New England can use Drake May as like their selling point to anybody, coach, exec, anything. If you have a great young quarterback on a rookie contract, to me, that's the biggest selling point because franchise quarterbacks are game changers in football. So if you have one and you have him on a rookie deal and you have cap space, they have no excuse to not be the most attractive destination for top level executives. That's what they should be doing. If money is the issue, the owner has to start digging into his pockets. This is true, Gail. It was always a matter of time. All this toxicity talk, eventually something was going to happen. No one wants to go to Chicago. Gail, your commitment to bashing Chicago is incredible, considering that you live in Chicago. Actually, I'm very impressed. But yeah. Who wants to go to Chicago? You know what's weird though? Like I've heard a few people. Here's the thing. I've heard a few people talk about how they like Chicago, and then I'll hear what they mention about Chicago, and like it just sounds like, to be honest, they've never been to a nice big city. Because if your reference point for a big city is like Philadelphia, then of course maybe you're gonna find Chicago nice. But I think if you're actually from a nice big city, I can't see what would be beneficial for, because like there's a lot of big cities on bodies of water. That's not unique about Chicago. Chicago from a weather standpoint is horrible. Like Chicago is as bad as here. Like Toronto is obviously in Canada, it's up north, the weather's kind of cold. But Chicago, I would say it's even worse because their cold is different. They're windy in the middle of flat land. Cold is bad. It's really bad. Okay. I have a question. Surfo, you say Chicago in the summer. What is the upside to Chicago? Like, what is it about Chicago in the summer that gets you? We're going to do some regional educating right here. Oh, CD's back in the game, and he's breaking tackles, and he's scoring touchdowns. What a play by CD Lamb. This guy's unreal, man. It's a shame my fantasy team is cooked. He's my forever keeper, though. Lake Michigan, nightlife, food. Okay, but this is what I'm talking about, guys. Nightlife, food, and concerts is not Chicago exclusive. That's something that if you encounter in Chicago might make you like Chicago. But like nightlife, food, concerts, that's to me, maybe this isn't everybody's experience. To me, that's just standard big city stuff. And then Lake Michigan, again, Lake Michigan, I might be unfamiliar with what makes Lake Michigan so cool. But again, like not the only big city on a body of water. And to be clear, right? When I talk about like the fact that I enjoy Toronto, like it's actually not much to do with the city, it's more to do with the people. Like the thing I like about Toronto is how deep of an immigrant city it is. That's what makes this a cool place. The place itself is really not all that. But like I literally look at the diverse population as like that is awesome. It is awesome how many cultures are here, like deep. Like there's enough people of every background for pockets of those people to exist, enough for people to want to hold on to their culture and for like the culture to be present. So it's like you can go around and you can really experience like the people's favorite parts of who they are. That's to me what I like. I don't even like the city like that. Congrats, you just called Lollapalooza. Okay. I heard Lollapalooza is pretty cool. Like I've seen some set lists that are cool. But I don't know. The thing Chicago is far cleaner than LA and NYC. That makes sense. So that's the thing. I also like I'm not a huge New York person. New York is cool. I obviously like I don't love Philadelphia, but like New York is cool, but it's just it's not like a huge needle mover for me. Zeke Elliott punches in the touchdown for the Cowboys. This is this is really his role at this point. Chicago is diverse. So what I will say though is I think all big cities are starting to get more and more diverse because it doesn't make sense for a person. Well, okay, I might have to take that back. It doesn't make sense for a person to come from another country to like these big cities, or not these big cities, even like these countries, and then go in the middle of nowhere where it's nothing but like local people. Like there's no other people from other places. It makes sense for people to go to the big city, like the heart of the city where there's a lot of everybody to kind of like have some connectivity, right? But like the thing is these big cities are getting so expensive now, it's driving people to other places. So like there's this weird social dynamic going on of like smaller towns that historically just used to be like, especially in Ontario and Canada, like smaller towns that used to be just very white that are starting to get populated by all these different communities out of circumstance. They're not thrilled to be there, but they have to be out of circumstance. Hold on. This man said, I thought we were talking big cities. NY is ass. Thank you, Leon. It's a big city. Chicago has a diverse population. I was talking about, oh, okay. I hear it. Because I think we can safely say that the Bears are a disaster. Also, if Murtaza was here, he would be like staunchly defending Chicago. I don't think so. Murtaza hasn't been here since Gail has been here. But Gail, there's a guy that used to come on streams on this channel. His name is Murtaza. He's from Chicago. Staunch Bears fan, and also just the wildest streamer panelist guy I've ever seen. He says some of the most outlandish stuff. If you say something negative about Chicago or the Bears, the amount of profanity that is being directed at you in the next 40 to 50 seconds is something else. But one day he'll be back, I'm sure. I'll have to check up on my guy Murtaza. I think he predicted that the Bears would win 11 wins. So I think it's probably tough to leave the house when that's what you predicted. But it is what it is, man. We all take our wins and losses. There's also San Fran, another big. If I could afford it, I hope they make an effort to clean the city, but year-round weather is perfect. Okay, I've heard very good things. I've heard very good things about Northern California weather, but I've heard very bad things about Northern California prices. And Eddie can speak to that. That's why he hasn't come back. To be honest, King, he's the most toxic individual I've ever seen. But he like, I think I said something about the Bears. And he's like, yeah, that's why Jalen Carter killed that guy. I'm like, whoa. How did we get there? Most toxic person I've ever seen on a stream. So I kind of don't want, because Gail's very wholesome. Gail is a very sweet, wholesome person. I actually don't want their energies to overlap. Big up, Will. Newly modded Will. Season over now. It's all good, man. You can look forward to the next year. You don't have to stay up this late to watch football, at least to watch the Seahawks. You can actually watch like solid teams. But it is what it is, man. It's gonna happen to everybody. It's that time of year. Like, I actually want to kind of like maybe next year do like a thing about like at the beginning of the year when it's time to be positive. Oh, something every fan base has to be positive about. Just run off like positive stuff about every team, because the beginning of the year is everybody's time to be positive, and then like at the end of the year, have something negative about every team. Like really lean into negativity and how this is the time when fans realize my team's really not that good. My team's really not going to win a Super Bowl. My team really has a bad coach. My team's players are really not it. We need new players. This is when negativity hits an all-time high. So my focus on just like focusing on the negatives for a bunch of teams. Y'all had us scared there for a little bit. Positive, our O-line can't possibly get any worse. Don't kill me. 1st and 10, Baker Mayfield throws the ball to Mike Evans. Bucks get the ball to start the second half, but I would say that they would need some points here. They like 7 points is ideal, but at least 3 points would be good for momentum. Hey, at least your season wasn't over by week 2. Leon, though, like, I'll be honest, I don't know how you feel. Whenever my team is as bad as the Patriots are, I almost take solace in the fact that I can get the pain over with early and I can just go about the year like chill and just watch everybody else stress out over their teams. I don't mind. Here's the thing, hot take. I don't like the Raptors right now. I do not mind being a fan of a really bad team. I think being a fan of an average team and bang in the middle, that's the worst fan experience. Knowing your team is bad and just scouting young players and trying to see who of your team is going to be good going forward, that's not that bad for me. Offense lives and dies with Kenneth Walker on the field. Yeah, I didn't move away from it. It was a great game from start to finish. Man, I wish I could say the same. Baker Mayfield steps up in the pocket, avoids Michael Parsons, delivers a dot to Mike Evans. That's what I was doing. 100 yards, not that bad, man. Like, again, as somebody who experienced this a few years ago, the absolute worst fan experience is losing a Super Bowl. It's absolutely bad. Like, it's the worst. Losing an NFC championship game might piss you off. Nothing like losing a Super Bowl. We're so mid, it is pissing me off. The Nuggets are funny, though, because, like, legitimately a generational offensive output from Nikola Jokic, and you're somehow mid. I don't understand it. I don't understand. If you can enlighten me, that would help. Will McCarthy be fired, though? So the irony is they will never actually have to make the call on whether to fire him, right? His contract is going to run out. They have to make the call on whether they want to pay him again. And I think if they do, I will be a happy man. I will be a very happy man. Losing a Super Bowl in the one. I hear it. I cannot imagine what that was like. I'm going to be so real. Based on my experience in 2022, I cannot imagine what it would be like watching that pick. Yeah, you must be a strong soul, because I would not have made it. We're supposed to be a 3 and D team with no 3 or D. That's hilarious. Definitely the case, though. That's funny. Also, how did I not know you were a Nuggets fan? They're running a draw on 3rd and 4, and it worked. I actually like the play call. It looked like really bad execution. He barely got it, but I like the play call. Are there better coaches on the market? So here's the interesting thing about this, and I probably was going to get to talking about this later. I think the fact that college is more like the pros means that there's more viable job openings for certain coaches, right? Like, for example, I think Mike Vrabel. I think Mike Vrabel is one of the better coaching prospects right now. Prospects, I mean, like just a potential coach you could hire, right? I think you have to compete against Ohio State for Mike Vrabel now. And I think that would have not been the case 3 years ago. But now the college game is more and more like the pro game. A lot of the dynamics of being a professional coach are more and more applicable to the college game. And in college, they have a lot of money too now. And it's only going to get higher and higher. So I think coaching in at the college level is more viable for a lot of high level coaches now. There's a lot more competition for these guys. So I would look at the Cowboys and I would say, hey, you go get Mike Vrabel, you hand him a blank check, and you go to work. But you got to compete against Ohio State. So it's going to be tough. Mayfield scrambles, throws across his body to Jalen McMillan, the rookie from Washington, catches a touchdown to bring the game back within one score. Big drive for Tampa Bay to keep the game close before halftime. They start the second half with the ball. So they have an opportunity, actually, oddly enough, to get the lead right after halftime. But statement drive here after Dallas just went down the field to get a touchdown. I'm pretty sure he caught this ball. I don't think I've seen any great angles of the ball on the ground. Yeah, it looks like he caught that ball. Lucky I wasn't watching football back then. Oh, okay. Yeah, lucky you. Wait, they're showing an angle. Guys, I don't think he caught that ball. Maybe I'm a hater, but I don't think he caught that ball. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he caught that ball. I was watching with a buddy of mine who's a Colts fan, just stress about AR, Gus Bradley, and the GM. Yeah, Ballard. Oh, he got it? Never mind. Maybe I am a hater. Yeah, that's the thing. Being a Colts fan right now, I think is probably one of the worst NFL fan experiences because you don't even know what direction to move going forward. There's really nothing like there's no clear next steps. Seahawks could have been a dynasty if it wasn't for 3 or 4 mistakes they made. My thing is I think they were struggling to keep the defense together. And the whole concept of the team was centered around having an amazing defense and an amazing running game. I think if they kept the defense together successfully, it would have been great. But like, who did they lose? I think they lost. No, they lost Chancellor early in because he retired because of health issues, and they lost Browning or Browner, the corner, the guy who played in the CFL. They lost him to what, free agency, or did he have some wild shit go on and go to jail? Something funny happened with Browner, and then obviously Chancellor retired pretty early, and then Earl Thomas had a wild ending of his career as well. Actually, in hindsight, that whole Legion of Boom team, it was kind of the wildest locker room ever. Throw in Percy Harvin, throw in Golden Tate. Literally everybody but Russell Wilson was wild. Oh, add the Bennett brother, Michael Bennett. He's pretty wild too. That was a crazy team. All right, well, 48 seconds for Dallas. They have 3 timeouts. I think they're probably going to take 1 aggressive shot, maybe 2, and then just pack it in if nothing happens after that. Rush drops back. Oh, angle route to the tight end who gets across midfield. They're going to burn a timeout here. Ferguson gets a wide open on the angle route. I will say that's one of my favorite plays. Whether it's a running back, a tight end, running an angle in the middle of the field with the perimeter routes clearing out. Because if you look at the play concept here, all the receivers, the other 4 receivers are all running towards the sidelines, opening up the middle of the field completely. And then an angle route, like you can basically pick the defender that doesn't have good lateral movement because you're gonna make them turn immediately from one direction to the other. Love that play concept. Cooper Rush, 16 for 21, 212. He is doing the backup quarterback thing right now. Man, I wish the Eagles had Cooper Rush today. Cooper Rush, slant route to Brandon Cooks, who catches it with a head of steam. And 2 plays into the drive, Dallas is well within field goal range. 37 seconds and 1 timeout left. So if you have 1 timeout and probably like 5 plays left, what are you doing here? Oh, I might dial up a wide receiver screen here. Actually, no, I would save that for a down where I think they're bringing pressure. Oh, don't catch that. Ferguson did not need to catch that. Once he didn't catch it cleanly, just drop the ball. Just drop the ball. Too much time is going to get wasted for 1 yard here. Rush drops back. Lots of vertical routes, and he gets sacked. He does a good job of not dropping the ball there, but this drive has stalled quickly. It's going to end up being a pretty long kick. They're calling their final timeout now? You saw what just happened there. Stop playing games. Call a timeout with 2 seconds and kick the field goal right here. Hey, Tampa, here's this thing called defense. They could use it. They could absolutely use it. Nah, King, it worked. You spoke it into existence and it works. It worked. You have powers, you know? You should use them more often. 3rd and 15. Dallas with no timeouts. Have to be very careful on this play. Cooper Rush drops back, takes a deep shot to the right. Oh my God, he kind of has him. Oh my God, Tolbert. You know what could have happened there? Because the ball wasn't far enough to the sideline or far enough to get to the end zone, there's a chance he could have caught that, stayed in bounds, and the half could have ended. Kind of played a dangerous game here. Also, definitely pass interference, by the way. The DB had no clue where the ball was, didn't turn his head, held both that guy's hands. Like held his, yeah. They missed a call there. Well, Brandon Aubrey, one of the best kickers from 50 yards plus, drills the field goal before the half, giving Dallas a 9-point lead. Then can the Steelers make the Super Bowls? Man, that's a question. You can't manifest through a question. You gotta say it. Okay. Shout out to everybody in here. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're gonna take a quick break at halftime, and be back for the second half for sure. But maybe before that, I have to head out here. Have a long week starting tomorrow. Say less, bro. Say less. Have a good week. I'll be back here Wednesday. Wednesday is the next Watchalong Christmas for the Chiefs Steelers, and then obviously landscaping on Tuesday. So that's what it is. Take care, Surfel. I'll see the rest of you guys in a bit. My bad, people. My bad. I bugged the hell out. Missed the beginning of the game. I'm sorry. Shout out to the 6 people still tuned in. You guys are very appreciated. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Here we are. Second half has begun. Tampa Bay down 9, in need of a good second half. They're already at midfield. I missed how they got this far this quickly, but here they are. Definitely points are needed on this drive. Quick swing screen to Rashad White on 1st and 10. Gets the Bucks an easy 5 yards. What was I going to say? How many game recaps do we still have to do? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not so bad. We can work through 7 pretty easily. And then on Wednesday, when we stream, we'll be previewing week 17. And then Saturday, we'll have to probably play around with the playoff machine. Rashad White gets 6 yards on 2nd and 5. However, I think I saw a flag fly, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. First and 10 for the Bucks. Seems like both these offenses are having a pretty easy time moving the ball. I guess you could say I expected that for Tampa Bay. Definitely did not expect that for Dallas, though. And I guess that makes me look at Tampa Bay a little bit differently. Quietly, they might be like a shootout kind of a team. Baker drops back lots of time, gets to his progressions, and finds a tight end that fumbles. But Baker Mayfield himself recovers the ball? Did I see that right? Is that Baker on top of the ball? Don't kill me. Baker throws the ball, recovers the fumble. Does he get passing yards from that? I think Baker Mayfield gets passing yards. No way. We got Baker Mayfield and Josh Allen both getting passing yards. Man, Durham, that tight end. I'm sorry. Players that try to break tackles when they're getting gang tackled, Dumb as hell. Baker is trying to carry them to the playoffs. Don't kill me, bro. He's got rushes, receptions, and passes. Bucky Irving on the screen. Yo, Bucky's actually trying to carry them as well. I never knew Bucky would be like this. I had no idea. Handoff to Bucky Irving. That's damn near the first time I've seen Bucky get the ball and something good didn't happen. So I'm actually going to look at the AFC standings for the first time because tomorrow 2 NFC teams play. The AFC standings are technically all completely done. Yo, there's 5 teams that are 3-2 in that conference. My goodness. Jets are 4-11 too. Shit. Man, the Broncos game against the Bengals on Saturday is so big because if the Broncos win, AFC playoff teams are going to be locked up because the Chargers are beating the Patriots. Baker drops back and almost throws a pick to Deron Bland. There is a flag on the play, though. AFC is not it, bro. The AFC is top heavy, but the rest of I respect 4 teams in the AFC, truthfully. I respect 4 teams, and I really am taking 2 of them as real contenders. And even amongst the real contenders, Kansas City is a real contender off the standings and the history and just the respect that I have for the team. But it's not really through the way they're playing right now. 2nd and 19 after the penalty. Yo, we did us the worst conference. Yo, Leon, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. We can play all these fun and games. Yo, we are in we are the rest of the teams in Jordan's era. Oh no, Baker Mayfield fumbled and then forced a fumble and then a recovery by Dallas. That was a tragic play by Baker Mayfield. How are they going to call this? This is a tragic play. Oh my God. So this is the thing, though. This guy didn't cleanly recover the ball while still in bounds. When he fumbled it out of bounds, does this mean it's Dallas's ball? Did Dallas ever securely get the ball? Yo, Joel, big up. Also, just heads up, I did not watch a minute of football today. So while I had a hella thoughts about the Eagles at the beginning of the stream, and none of it is based on things I saw because I didn't see shit. But big up to you nonetheless. Shame on the Bills and the Ravens to allow it. That wouldn't be having the Patriots at our peak. So this is the thing, right? The Patriots had basically, you could say, the Colts and the Steelers as 2 organizations that were actually hooping in their era that they made underappreciated. We probably don't appreciate the Steelers, that era of Steelers and Colts football, and potentially Ravens football because, the Patriots made them kind of shit. That's not happening in the Chiefs era. The Chiefs, you could say, are doing that to Buffalo, but that's it. Baltimore's shit is it's their own shit. They're going to figure it out probably, but maybe not. Who knows, right? Baltimore's issues are more or less self-inflicted, right? Who else is out here? I mean, the fact that it's this hard to kind of Pittsburgh has not been able to figure the quarterback position out. That's self-inflicted stuff. Houston were a thing. They were a thing for 1 year. There's no there's no like solid organizations that are just completely getting undervalued because of the Chiefs, the way the Patriots did to those two teams. Because I'm telling you, man, the Steelers had a crazy run during the Patriots dynasty. Like the Steelers had some damn good teams with Big Ben, but we just won't really properly remember them because of the Patriots. Same thing with Indy, bro. Indy had some crazy teams. We'll just never remember them appropriately. But like Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Dallas Clark, Joseph Adai / Edgerrin James, bro, those teams were stacked. Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis off the edge. Bob Sanders out there hitting people. Stacked team. There's no San Diego in our peak era. Yo, they didn't. They said that Dallas never had the ball. Oh my God. That sucks for Dallas. I definitely thought somebody had the ball. What the hell? Like, I thought he cleanly recovered it. No, he didn't. Yo, Baker actually saved the possession by breaking it up. Baker with like defensive instincts right there to just be like swipe at the ball. Yo, Baker out here with better defensive instincts. That it's 3rd and 40. Don't fucking kill me. It's 3rd and 40. I don't think I've ever seen 3rd and 40 before. Baker drops back. Oh my God. He gets the tight end that fumbled the ball. He gets him absolutely killed. Yo, I think he just set that tight end up because he fumbled. He said, yo, you want to fumble? Cool. Say less. Try to catch this. Bang. 4th and 40. That was the most frustrating game all season. Yo, okay, so I think this the choice to not run the ball at the last drive was stupidity. I think the fact that the defense gave up 22 points in the 4th quarter, unforgivable. The fact that the special teams were constantly giving Washington short fields, ridiculous. How the offense performed, I don't particularly care because Kenny Pickett is ass. I legitimately think I just don't think he's good at football. So I'm not really going to get too fixated on the offense's shortcomings, even though they scored 33 with a backup quarterback. To me, it's just defense. Why are you guys so unreliable? You guys balled the fuck out last week. Why did Pittsburgh have to catch that performance and then Washington gets to play against this defense? You guys should not be this hot and cold. Why did Carolina get to play against that defense, but then whoever we played the week before that had to catch the L? Like the Rams got strapped up, but Carolina balls, right? Pittsburgh got strapped up, but Washington balls, right? Doesn't make sense. And then yeah, so that's kind of just like my thoughts on the Eagles game. But what I will say, I don't like that we don't get to host a game against either Detroit or Minnesota potentially, right? The fact that we have to go on the road, that's the piss off. The lack of the bye week. So actually, Joel, thank you for saying this because this isn't something that I have a feel for because I didn't watch the game. What I was gonna say though is I lost my train of thought. Oh shit, Cooper Rush finds number 80. I don't even know who that is for hella yards. Okay. Fuck, I forgot my train of thought. I had something good to say too. God damn. But yeah, it'll come back to me later. What makes it worse is I went to that game. Yo, King. Commanders didn't get punched for helmet tackles, and throwing punches while CJ GJ got ejected. See, I didn't know any of this happened. False start on everybody but the center. I think we might get to see that call. Damn, Tolbert. Dowdle gets tackled for -1 yard. Damn, they're working on CD's shoulder. Why does the doctor have a hat like that on? That seems not very doctorly. I feel like if I ever was dealing with a doctor with that hat on, I'd be like, this guy's a scammer. Let me check this guy's degree. Let me research the institution he got this degree from. That's how a scammer presents himself as a doctor. What the hell? CD, be careful. Tread lightly. Ask for his qualifications right now. If he went to an online institution, it's not a real medical degree. Successful screenplay to Dowdle, though. Gets it into third and manageable. Seems like a 50s union worker. This is facts. Not a doctor. Probably went through prohibition. 100%. Do describe the hat. Gail, the hat looks like... it's a halfway between a cowboy hat and a top hat. It wasn't either. It was not either. No, yeah, that's how I would describe it. Also, it looks like that hat looks like he's fought like this before. Like, you know how like in the cartoons they have the old people fighting like this, or this is their fighting stance? That's how he looked like he's been in a fight like that. 50s style hat. Okay, that maybe could help. Sounds suspicious. This is what I'm saying, Gail. Gail, you're picking up what I'm putting down. Like old mobster, put him up type of, that's what I'm saying. He looks like a put him up type of dude, and then put his fighting stances like this. I don't trust that guy. I feel like he's the type he would try to heal a torn ACL with like a stick of butter. Like, you know, just take the stick of butter, rub it on your knee twice a day for 4 months, and you'll be healthy. Like, I don't trust him. Brandon Aubrey from 53 knocks it through the uprights to make it a 12-point game. Where's the actual doctor? I'm not sure. Maybe he got beat up and like kidnapped, tied up and put in a closet by the mobster dude. You know what though? Okay. I don't know if this is something you should talk about. If for some reason I ever had like 2 weeks to live, right? I would do shit like that. Like, I don't know if I would kidnap anybody, right? What I would do is like I would try to like just scam big like things like this. So like I would try to print out like a credential and just show up to like an arena for a game and just be like, yeah, I'm so and so, and just see how far I could get. Because I actually feel like some of these big events are so disorganized, it could work. Not that I'm promoting this, guys. Again, anybody watching this, do not feel encouraged by what I just said to do that. What I'm saying, though, is if I had, in the absence of consequence, because I'm not going to be here for much longer, again, knock on all kinds of wood that never happens for a long time. That being said, though, I would just try to see what I could get away with shit like that. I'm not going to go cause mayhem. I would just sit down, probably, I'd stand in the tunnel and watch the game there. And I'd just be like, yeah, I'm the assistant to the team doctor. Yeah. Like, I'm the eyes from this situation. If there's certain things, if I see, I buzz down to the doctor. I'll have an AirPod in, like I'm a serious guy. But the whole time I'm just there to watch the game. He'll probably be the type just like shoot it up and take a 100%. This guy definitely, he heals people in like quantums of cigarettes. Like, this injury, this is a 7 cigarette kind of injury. This injury, this is a 2-pack a day kind of an injury. That's definitely the kind of doctor he is. He has no business being on the field. Okay, we can do a game recap. We haven't done one of those in a while. Okay, Colts and Titans. Again, didn't watch a second of this. Let's do some quick box score watching. Actually, no, I've done this before already, and I saw the Colts score 38 points. I'm like, oh, Anthony Richardson must have played well. Then I look at Anthony Richardson, 7 for 11, 131 and 1 pick. And I said, no way. This guy, his passing stats were 7 and 11. 7 for 11. But this guy needs to get a 7-11 deal. They ran the ball 41 times with running backs, 9 times with AR. They ran the ball 50 times and passed it 11 times. What type of shit is this? This is horrible. Man, what is Indy on, man? I feel bad for all the receivers. Free up all the receivers from that situation. Mason Rudolph, you did the Mason Rudolph thing. Again, you're not quite good enough to be an NFL quarterback, but you're there anyways because there's not much better ones. Titans couldn't run the ball. I mean, that's disappointing. But yeah, Mason Rudolph threw 3 picks and it was a 1-score game. That's crazy. Yo, Mason Rudolph threw for twice as many yards as AR almost. That's crazy. Caruso got paid. Yeah, man. OKC has that money to give out. 100%. 7-Eleven, bro, must have gotten a free Slurpee. 100%, bro. He definitely got a deal. Jamar Chase was wearing a 7-Eleven shirt. AR is going to come up with the next shirt, with the same shirt next week. But yeah, Titans, Colts, man, battle of two teams where I think the Titans, they play the Jags and Texans down the stretch. Something tells me they're going to get a win there. But yeah, they're in the race for that top pick. Bro, if Mason Rudolph is playing quarterback for you, the rest of the way you have pretty good odds. The Colts are probably going to win out as well. Giants and Jags. Oh, a handoff to Sterling Shepard, who gets about 14 yards. But yeah, man, these two teams are ass. Nothing left to say. What else? Next game would have been Rams Jets, but we got the game back. Why is the Rams offense all of a sudden trash? You don't kill me, man. The Rams put up like 40 plus against the Bills and all of a sudden can't play offense anymore. I'm so confused. Was the weather really bad or something for them to run the ball 28 times with running backs and throw the ball 19 times? Was the Jets defense just that cheeks? Baker Mayfield, oh my God, he had a receiver. That pass just gave the receiver no chance. 9 points, Jets. Bro, the Jets passed the ball 42 times and got 9 points. Couldn't even score in garbage time. Stafford barely had 100. Yo, the Rams just didn't pass the ball. At all. Yo, Leon, I would reframe this. When have the Jets ever really been alive in recent memory? Yo, the Jets, no, they're not dying. They're just still dead. Like, the pulse is just still a flatline. Rodgers should have retired a Packer. 100%. He said that he was mostly retired in that hole. Like, when he did the darkness retreat, he said he was mostly, like, very set on being retired. So, like, I don't know, man. I feel like whatever you were trying to be in tune with, he definitely was right. Whatever deep voice inside him told him retire, that voice was right. Not King. So I think Gail's saying that he should have just retired instead of going to the Jets, which I agree with. I do agree with King here that no, if he had stayed and kept playing as a Packer, that would have been bad for Green Bay. They're doing perfectly fine with Jordan Love. Beginning of the season when they thought Rodgers would lead them better than Zach Wilson, I guess not. But no, this is the most depressing part. This is the absolute most depressing part of their season is the fact that Zach Wilson was better. Anyways, 3rd and 6, a huge down for Tampa Bay, down 12, 5 minutes left in the third. I had no clue that maybe this would be a fade of the stream game because Dallas would have a blowout, but let's see. Wide receiver screen to Jalen McMillan. There's a crowd, and he navigates the crowd impeccably to get the first down. Great running by Jalen McMillan. Yeah, he looks like he's going to be a solid part of their receiving core going forward. My issue is though, like, he looks like he's a complimentary receiver, not like the guy. And it looks like Evans and Godwin are going to get old at the same time. Even though they're not the same age, I think they're probably going to get old at the same time. And that's going to leave a pretty big void. All right, well. 1st and 10 for the Bucs at the 46. Handoff to Bucky Irving, who gets upended and tackled at the line of scrimmage. Damn. Bucky is a small guy, though. So that makes sense why that happened. Second and 10. Baker drops back. Honestly, has enough time to find somebody. Oh my God. And he finds Mike Evans, but gets him smoked. That's a couple plays recently where Baker has gotten receivers absolutely smoked. He got the tight end smoked. And fortunately for him, he actually know Mike Evans is down now too. Yo, Baker is on one. Baker is out here getting the soldiers smoked. And one of them was on 3rd and 40. So that was like, there was no good reason. This one here, you have too much time, man. Too much time to get your player killed like that. And to be fair, he's lucky that Mike Evans is a big man because he actually, for the most part, he ate that contact pretty well. How did the Jets lose? Oh, are you looking to how little the Rams did offensively? Yeah, because facts. How did they lose? They died. They literally had every better stat. They died in the 4th. Oh, did they win the turnover battle as well? Rashad White on a on a running back screen gets a ton of space and floats to 20 yards. But yeah, 2 Jets fumbled, the Rams threw a pick. Shit. Yeah, it's not lopsided, man. I don't know what happened in that game. Bucky Irving, 1st and 10, tries to cut it back, gets 2 yards. I mean, it seems like whatever Tampa does on this drive, they're going to use up the rest of the time in the 3rd. Dallas gets the ball roughly at the beginning of the 4th. Dallas, let's say they eat up about 4 minutes and get a field goal. Tampa gets the ball back down 8. Like, the way this game is working, if Dallas just gets a field goal on the next drive, at the very minimum, they'll have the ball with a chance to have the last possession and win the game. Dallas doesn't have to do much to be controlling the rest of the game. They just have to avoid completely shitting the bed on this next drive. Oh my God, Baker Mayfield tried to jump over 2 guys and failed. They need to put this highlight beside Saquon Barkley's hurdle of the Jaguars player because it's 2 ends of the spectrum, 2 ends of the athleticism spectrum. Oh, they also failed to convert a 4th down 7 with less than 8 minutes. Yo, here's my thing. I actually don't know what Rodgers' next step is going to be because I don't think he's going to continue with the Jets. I don't think any other organization wants the headache. Like, the problem is the only organization to want a headache is probably a bad organization. I cannot think of a good, well-run team that thinks, you know what we need? 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers ayahuasca up. No. Only a dumbass organization like the Jets would think that that's a good idea. So, it's like, so what are you going to do? Go be a Browns quarterback? Baker trying to jump over a man. What happened to the game I love? Valid point. This is what I'm saying. It has to be a Jets-ass organization, if not specifically the Jets. But also, I think he's going to want out of the Jets. The problem is he's seen too much nonsense. Guys, I read more of that athletic report. They said that basically when Woody Johnson hears them talking football stuff, he'll bring up things that his 17-year-old son read on the internet. And apparently, the coach was about to give away a game ball, and then the 17-year-old son just took the ball and gave it to Garrett Wilson. And it said in the Athletic article that Garrett Wilson, like the son, his name is Brick. Brick Johnson took the ball and gave it to Garrett Wilson in a profanity-laden speech, right? So I'm thinking about this 17-year-old kid. What did he say? And like the Pat McAfee show, they have a rolling bit going now about how like Brick Johnson must have took the ball and he's like, "Yo, Gary, you went dummy, bro." And I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, that's probably what happened though too. Like he probably was just saying wild 17-year-old shit, like a bunch of slang, gave the game ball to Garrett Wilson, and like, oh my God, like that team is in the dumps. So this is my thing. I don't think Aaron Rodgers wants to continue playing there. So, but where else is he going to go? I think he's just going to retire. And this is, yes, his name is Brick John. That's what they said. Like he probably goes by Brick. That's probably not on his birth certificate. But then again, maybe it is, because billionaires are kind of weird people. Woody has a son named Brick. Yo, don't wait. I just realized Woody and Brick are both references to kind of the same thing. That's kind of wild. They got the most phallic names ever. This is what I'm saying, yo. This is what I'm saying, Leon. This is crazy that that's the parent names. What on earth, man? Why? Hey, King, hey, yo. I said, look, blame the Jets. That's fair. That's fair. Nobody else to blame. This is wild. This shit is so wild. But yeah. Oh shit, I could have done one more game preview. What the hell? What did oh yeah, Rams Jets. Okay, so Rams Jets. We actually just talked about this game a lot, so not much else to say. But things to keep in mind. Again, like he said, how did the Rams have barely any yards of offense, right? So they got outgained by like 80 yards. They had the same amount of first downs, similar third down efficiency. I mean, the Rams did win the turnover battle by one. They lost the time of possession. They had roughly similar penalties. But yeah, looking at it here, the Rams just got 13 points in the fourth quarter, and that was enough. I don't know what to make of the Rams. Like that's the bigger takeaway. I don't even care about this game enough to talk about it, and I've said everything I have to say about the Jets already. But I don't know what to make up of the Rams. How do you score 40 against Buffalo and then what 12 against the Niners and a 19 against the Jets? The Jets defense is garbage. The Jets defense routinely get 30 put on them. I think the Rams are in a weird spot. Who do the Rams play next week? Because I might be concerned. Cardinals and Seahawks. They're not winning both. The way they're playing, they are not sweeping two divisional matchups. Hell to the no. Yeah, Rams are losing a game. So maybe that let me see where that leaves the rest of that division. I mean, I guess maybe then the Seahawks can still catch them. Because did the Seahawks beat them? No, the Rams won. Shit. Well, yeah, they need Seattle to. They need the Cardinals to win next week for them to have a chance. Yeah, wherever Will is, he needs to know the Seahawks still technically have a chance. But yeah, I don't know what to make of the Rams. They kind of stress me out. Uh, Cardinals, Panthers. So the Panthers got this dub in overtime. Um, okay, what I can't figure out with the Panthers is what the hell was that game against Dallas? And here's the thing, right? That game against Dallas is such an outlier. They won 2 games. They played the Bucks, Eagles, and Chiefs pretty tight, and then they got blown out by the Cowboys. But then they beat the Cardinals. Like all the results add up except for the game against Dallas. Now we're confused about Dallas's game right here, guys. I think Dallas might actually not be that bad. Like the fact that they're the outlier for 2 different teams, because this is a massive outlier for Tampa Bay, the way Tampa's playing. Dallas is, I'm telling you, bro, if Kenny Pickett is playing next week, Dallas is getting that W. That's how I feel right now. But yeah, Cardinals, it was fun. You guys had a fun little run of playing well. It's over. And as far as their direction for next year, guys, they have to spend money, man. They didn't spend any money this offseason. They have to get better. They get some more established talent. James Conner is fun. Marvin Harrison should be awesome, but they need some more talent. Trey McBride is cool. You need another receiver that's like solid to really make it hard for defenses to deal with you. Carolina, man, just keep riding the ship bit by bit. They've escaped the tier of complete just garbage. They're not that anymore. Okay, hold on. Justin and Bears both were 11. They are an outlier for us as well. Oh yeah, they are an outlier for you. Yo, Dallas is like. Here's the thing. I think some of the Dallas games, like they show up and just shit the bed sometimes, but they've had some solid games this year, despite all their issues. That I totally forgot about that game. That was the delayed game too. It happened at like 9:30. Yeah, that's annoying, man. That's annoying. We can also look at Vikings Seahawks again. I didn't see any of this, but it looked like Seattle needs. They need to be 1 game closer to the Rams for their own sake. So they kind of needed a win. Unfortunately, they played a very good team. It looked like Geno and Walker were playing. Surfell said that they're very Kenneth Walker dependent. Oh my God. Flournoy? Flournoy gets hella yards here. Easy first down. Man, Mike McCarthy might be coaching himself into a contract. What the hell? Dowdle gets 2 yards. But yeah, again, I didn't watch this game. Don't have much to say. Vikings stay on track. Their matchup against Detroit in Week 18. I hope it's the Sunday night game because that's going to be sensational stuff. Patriots and Bills. Patriots basically spotted the Bills the Bills spotted the Patriots 14 points and they still got this W. I think the Patriots got a garbage time touchdown. I do think the Bills went on a 24-0 run, but I might have that messed up. I'll double check that right now. Yeah, Drake May got a garbage time touchdown in the last 2 minutes. So yeah, damn, Bills got a defensive touchdown. Oh, James Cook went crazy. What the hell? Oh, only 11 rushes for 100 yards. He got 26 in the air. Well, this is a really weird game for Buffalo. Looks like they played like complete shit. We still couldn't stop throwing. Yeah, I'm seeing all the James Cook was the whole Bills offense. But that's crazy though, bro. Your defense actually I don't think the Patriots defense did it, but Josh Allen just had a bad day today. I did not expect that from him. That's wild. Penalty on Dallas to give them 2nd and 19. Cooper Rush. Another penalty on the play. He finds Turpin. mean, he finds Turpin, but they might be going back again. At least you don't gotta worry about the running game next week. Oh yeah, true, bro. Chargers don't run the ball at all. Damn, another opportunity to play spoiler. I'm really taking for granted that the Chargers are gonna beat the Patriots. It would be hilarious if he doesn't. Allen somewhat always has one bad game against us. We'll see week 18. Damn. Oh yeah, they go to New England in week 18. Interesting. Second and 19, they're replaying the down? Because the down and distance is the same. Tight end screen to Ferguson. He gets 2 yards. Hey Leon, I'm not joking. We got you in week 18. Unless we lose to the Cowboys somehow, right? If that happens, all bets are off. But I still think we're gonna beat the Cowboys and lose to the Giants. We're gonna run the most we're gonna play the wildest players in week 18. King, I don't know, man. I feel like they just gave up on that drive. It's a 9-point game. It's a 2-score game with 12 minutes to go. So the Bucs still need to play with an incredible amount of urgency. But I feel like they just gave up here and they said, we're not going to turn it over. Like, I'm not joking. I think that was a part of the thinking. At this point, we're up 9 points, 12 minutes to go. Our defense has been playing relatively well. The most impactful thing we could do here is turn it over. So let's just pack it in, run the clock, get the ball to the other team on their side of the field, not ours. I don't even hate the approach, by the way. Oh, my God. And this... Did he fair catch? Did he fair catch? Is he celebrating while he fair caught? This is wild. Oh, my God. The penalty's on Tampa, too. Oh, my God. They're going to start their own 2-yard line. Yeah, Dallas's defense is going to hold this down. They're fine. Atlanta, you are back in the playoffs. Yo, Atlanta just has to... Oh, but they play the Commanders. They're going to lose against the Commanders, probably. Oh, Tampa Bay, you're alive. Tampa Bay, you're alive. But you need Jaden to do his thing, though. But Tampa Bay is probably going to be alive for that reason. Damn, Penix, man. Second game of your career. And you're in a win-in situation, basically back-to-back weeks. If you sweep your last 2 teams, you're in. Not only are you in, you get to host a playoff game. Probably against Minnesota. You probably get sent to God by Minnesota, but still. Actually, no. Hot take. I don't know if this is that hot of a take. I think Minnesota gets the one seed in week 18. Now, I think Minnesota absolutely Detroit sends Atlanta to God in that wild card game. Oh my God. Jahmyr Gibbs, 300 yards. Jared Goff, 400 yards. My goodness. Can we boot them and the NFC West? I hear it, bro. I hear it. The NFC is... Here's the thing. Like Leon said earlier, the Chiefs are just going to three-peat. There's nobody that looks impressive enough to be able to say, like, you know what? I really like this team's chances of stopping it. Nah, the Chiefs are just going to three-peat. Okay, so I want to say... I don't know. Is it too early for fade of the stream? I want to say fade of the stream. Tampa has to score here. Like if Tampa gives the ball away with, let's say, 9 minutes to go, down 2 scores. The thing about 2 scores in football, though, is that wild shit can happen. Okay, you know what? It might be too early. I think fade of the stream might happen if Tampa punts the ball and then Dallas gets it. And then fade of the stream there would be stream ends if Dallas gets past midfield or if Dallas scores. That type of shit. Yeah, it's a little too early. Like the game isn't in the balance yet. Fate of the Stream is meant to happen when the game is hanging in the balance. But okay, let's get to the last couple game recaps. Oh, this is a fun one. Jaguars Raiders, all-time tankathon matchup. Head to head, serious shit in this game. Nothing mattered about the football. This was all about draft positioning in April. And the Raiders apparently won the game and were turning up in the locker room. The owners were there, and nobody it didn't occur to anybody that, hey guys, I think losing this game was really bad for the draft. Nobody said that. They were just turning up. They lost Shador Sanders and they were vibing in the locker room. So shame on you guys. That's a mess. This is a mess of a team, organization. Both these teams are shitty. And honestly, the Jaguars don't deserve the pick either. But like Leon says, thank you, Mac Jones. It's going to be big for the Patriots. They did their thing. Leon, if you guys get the first overall pick, what is your plan? Trade back? Trade back or take Travis Hunter? Damn right, trade out. Yeah, no. Trading Shador to somebody, you'll get a decent amount of picks. Baker steps up, pocket collapses, pump fakes, runs, gets to about the 18, and then gets wrestled down. Baker, oh my God. He does not only does he get sacked, he gets wrestled down and loses the ball here. Oh my God. Does Dallas have this ball? We need to stockpile draft picks or draft talent. Yeah, if you guys, thing is too, if I was you guys, because I don't particularly need one position, oh my God, it's Dallas ball. I would trade back to like the 15th overall pick. I would trade the fuck out of there, pick up like 4 first round. I don't know what it would, a lot of first round picks, 3 first round picks and a couple seconds. I would stock up big time. But yeah, Baker absolutely got violated on this sack. Bro got wrestled down and the ball stripped off out of his hands. Actually, you know what? Ground may have caused that fumble. You know what? I don't know. Bro, highest bidder, 100%. 100%. Yo, I would entertain a trade to a team without a first round pick to whatever gets me the most value. Yeah, ball was down. They are buccaneering. Big up, Jen Will. Good to see you. Good to see you for sure. Yo, what a weird week. Damn. 2nd and 14. Pull a Howie. 100%. That's what you guys need. 2nd and 14. Last work day till 2025. Let's go. Turn up. Baker. Oh my God. They ran a draw and it didn't work. That looks horrible. 3rd and 15 soon coming. This is ugly. It's getting ugly. This 3rd and 14. Yeah, this 3rd and 14 is probably going to set up the Dallas getting the ball, and then that will be the fate of the stream. Dallas can still qualify. Can they? At 7-8, because bro, I think they're out of both races. I don't think they can. Let me see. So even if they win, they're 3 games out of the wild card and 5 games out of the division. So you're not, bro. They're out. Only teams out of the playoff picture that are still alive are Atlanta and Seattle. Hey, big up, Leon. Take care. Have a good holidays. Enjoy your time. Catch you guys later. Baker throws it away on 3rd and 14, and they are about to punt. They're about to punt. So Faded the Stream is about to get activated. When Dallas gets this ball. We them boys, we want week 20. Yeah, it's over, man. They're just playing spoiler these last 2 weeks against Philly and Washington. Dude, I think this is probably an illegal formation on Tampa. Turpin catches the ball, does a little spinny move thingy, and gets to the out at the 35. Washington are falling like. Hold on. We talking the Wizards? Tampa, Atlanta were choking. This division was all yours. This is true, man. Tampa is really messing up right now. Kings, he said, King, you must. 100%, bro. See you guys. Yeah, I'll be Christmas Day. I'll be doing Steelers Chiefs. That's the game. Oh, what do you mean? Are they falling in the playoffs? Because yeah, I think they're getting clapped in the playoffs. But like, I mean, they did decent today. This is true, man. Wizards have been, honestly, they've been ass ever since they adopted that name. My bad, 50. Nah, bro. Ever since they changed the name, Bullets, that was the time. And they were still ass after the rename to the Bullets. Damn, that's tough. That's the heritage of that franchise. Yo, there's a panelist for the Sarcasm City courtside commentary streams. LQ, he's a Wizards fan. I cannot believe we found a UK-based British fan, Wizards fan. Crazy, but we did, and he seems pretty cool. So that was a new thing I learned. Yeah, they were. I think they were the Bullets. They were the Bullets originally, and then they lost a bunch of fans when they renamed to the Wizards. Oh yeah, we still have one last game recap to do. I saw this game ended on a Purdy pick, and I was like, that guy really like quietly his turnover issues from college. They got masked for a while, but they're still there. Yeah, it's still there for sure. It comes up every now and then, and whenever the offense isn't clicking perfectly, you see the turnover issues rear their ugly head. But yeah, Purdy, 1 pick, 3 sacks. The Niners couldn't really run the ball with their random running back they had to play. Purdy cannot throw the ball 40 times and win, I don't think. Dolphins offense, fairly ho-hum game except for Achane. Achane went absolutely wild. And even that, the stats look amazing because of particularly one play. But yeah, This is a game that Miami kept their hopes alive, but still don't love their chances. And the Niners just sunk to a new level. They cannot play without a running attack. This whole what they had, their whole setup with Purdy and guys like Debo, they need the running attack to be absolutely hooping. CD Lamb draws a pass interference or a holding, one of the two things. Team ends if Dallas scores. So yeah, the stream will end with a Dallas score. Washington was kind of is very high in crime and violence, and the owner felt uncomfortable. I think, I don't know much about it, but I imagine that, it's a defensive holding. Okay, fair enough. Play action. Incompletion to the flat. I pieced out on this season's fantasy league. I was chasing out 6-8, but I think next time, 100%, man. On to next year. The fantasy season is over for many of us. Could have done better than the Wizards, though. Don't kill me. Oh, man. I got clapped in my pick'em pool as well. Did everybody else do bad? Damn. Nah, they didn't. That's tough. Capitals was the best name. We still doing the fantasy? Yes, 100%, bro. We're definitely doing fantasy sports as a channel next year in the league, or like for the community. Oh, that's gonna be so much fun too. I'm gonna take that shit so seriously too, and we're gonna stream the draft. And then it'll just be a check-in as a part of the streams. Like while we do recaps and previews during streams, we'll also be doing fantasy check-ins. If you lose, you're probably gonna catch it in the live stream after the fact. Was the best wages fantasy league? Here's the thing, bro. I think it would be hard to figure it, organize it financially because we're all on different parts of the world. But if there's a fantasy thing that allows you to put money in and simply get payouts out, I wouldn't mind putting money on it. But like not anything serious, but something to make it interesting. Yeah, 100%. Obviously, we'll gauge everybody's comfort level. Wait, Dallas didn't score? That's crazy. So the stream lives on. The stream lives on. We're going to have to change fate of the stream now. Bucks don't score. God damn, Jen. Well, what the hell? Not anything serious. Like, well, yeah, no. It's safe to say we're gonna have a much more calm, relaxed environment. But yeah, that's crazy. I'm hearing a lot of support online for him online, man. That guy has a ton of fans. Oh shit. They rated me at the end of the stream. That's tough. Big up to Prime though, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate that for the heads up because I feel like it's a football bingo stream that pulled up as well. There's gonna be a fuck ton of people. Is King of Penguins fan? He is. He is. We learned this today. This guy knew all the hockey arenas by name. I was like, that's crazy. But yeah, I told him to rate. Oh, big up to you, Daniel. I appreciate that. Um, big up to Flawless as always for the raid. Prime always comes through. Yo, Prime always sends the people through, man. Prime definitely also always makes. Hold on, I've seen people play football bingo. I've seen it on one live stream. Who was there though? Because I feel like it's fun. You know what it is? I love to play. I just don't have the ball knowledge for it. I don't have the ball knowledge in the slightest to play football bingo. Like very much a football casual. But yeah, shout out to the 60 people that poured in from Sarcasm City. This is In Motion Football. My name is Alam. This is a different football. I know you guys just are pouring in from football bingo. We're watching the other football, American football, gridiron football. It's a Sunday night football watch along for Buccaneers and Cowboys. It's actually going to end pretty soon. So you guys that are pouring in, you guys can hang out here for like a cool 15 minutes or so. But Sunday nights, we recap the week of football that brought us up to this point, and we watch the game live. So a lot of you guys are probably familiar, or you guys might be familiar from me if you watch the courtside, or familiar. What the hell am I trying to say? Familiar with me? English sometimes doesn't work. From the courtside commentary on Sarcasm City. But yeah, big up to everybody in here. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel on your way in. We're gonna watch the rest of this football game probably, unless it's really bad. At least you seem to. Nah, trust me, bro. You know more football than you give yourself credit for. Probably, probably. But when it comes to factual information about players that played in certain on certain teams and stuff like that, I definitely couldn't pull my weight. But yeah, I appreciate that. 26-17, 7 minutes to go in the game. Buccaneers trying to mount a comeback. Probably not looking good for them, though. This is a big loss for them. Definitely a big loss for them. I'm bad at it too, but I just do it for fun. Do they let people from the chat play as well, or is it just the panelists, like the traditional Sarcasm City panelists? Baker throws it to, I don't even know who that is. Trey Palmer, I want to say. Flag on the play. But yeah, the chat too. Oh, okay. Then I'm sure people got a chance to participate, and I'll probably take some people from the chat. But also, you gotta understand with football, this football, I started following it 2013. Didn't even pay attention to the sport until then. My only exposure to the sport pre-2013 was World Cups, Euro Cups, because that's what gets put on TV in Canada. The Premier League and leagues like that, they don't get put on TV. It's not easy to get access to games. And also, because of the time zone, it's happening while I'm at school for the most part. So once I got out of high school and into a university life where you have a little bit more freedom during the day, that's when I started to really lock in. So then that would have been 2014, 2015. Basically, whenever Jose finished 10th, that's when I started following football. So I think I could maybe hold my own for players from that era. But you want to ask me about people in the 2000s? Hell no. 3rd and 10 for the Bucks. Baker steps up, takes a shot to Trey Palmer for about 30 yards. Crucial 3rd down conversion. And the Bucks go down the field. 6:40 to go in this game. But yeah, 86 people watching live. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Baker takes another shot down the field, and he has Jalen McMillan. Don't kill me. Oh my God, it's a pick. Oh my God, it's a pick. Baker, I thought that the 50-50 ball was going to get caught by McMillan. McMillan got bodied in the air by Jordan Lewis. Oh no, Tampa Bay. He had his back turned and everything. What happened here? Oh, the ball literally just got caught between a bunch of arms, and the DB got it. Oh, I guess it helps to have a football in my hands for this reason. Baker is doing a Russ. I retired after my goal raised the Stanley Cup after years of disappointment, and seeing them disgusting. Yo, wait, hold on. Who's your GOAT? Oh, yeah, Ovi. Yeah. So, you know what's funny? Ovi was when I used to follow hockey as a kid, Ovi was my favorite player. Baker, bro, 100%. He sold this game. So, I mean, Fade of the Stream said the stream ends. So to the 83 people watching live, I have a thing called Fade of the Stream. So when the game kind of gets to the part where like it's almost over and it could end if a certain things happen, I have like a feature called Fade of the Stream where we decide a thing that will end the stream if it happens. And we determined for that drive that the stream ends if the Buccaneers don't score. Not only did they not score, the man gave the ball to the other team, which is very, very bad. So with 6 minutes to go, down 9 points, which is 2 scores for the people who aren't big football people. There's not much time left for Tampa Bay to win this game. We're just going to hang around to make sure that there's not like a review that overturns this pick. And once we see that Dallas has the ball, this stream is over, people. So to the new people that poured in for the raid, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel so you guys know when I'm going live next to watch any the other games I'm live for. The next game I will be live for will be Christmas Day, 1 o'clock local time for me, which would be 6 p.m. in the UK. For Kansas City against Pittsburgh, it will be a great game. This channel has a Steelers fan and a couple Chiefs fans, so very relevant to the channel. Our Steelers fan will be at the game. Just hang around until we make sure the Cowboys don't Cowboys. Bro, they're not going to Cowboys if he caught this ball, because the Bucks are Cowboysing right now. Once we see for certain that Dallas has the ball, it's done. Man said ice hockey. Here's the thing. Is there one human in Australia that plays ice hockey? Like, is it even just one? Because there might be, but like, I feel like there might not be. Hell yeah, bro. Leon, take care. Oh yeah, what did you think of TNF? I thought the Broncos sold. I thought the Broncos absolutely sold. Dallas has the ball. So we're just going to answer this and call it a stream. I thought the Broncos sold, bro. I thought they had a much better first half than you guys, but I think you guys responded well in the second half. Oddly enough, the Chargers, oh, wow. Cooper Rush tried to throw a pick. Hell yeah, man. Run up the likes, people. Big up to everybody in here. Shout out to Flawless, as always, for the raid. Much appreciated. That's my dog for sure. But I live near ice skating rink. There's a league here. Yo, there's an Australian hockey league. There's an AHL. That's crazy. Yo, here's the thing, General, he didn't catch it. So the cowboying is done because they're just gonna run the ball and punt it. But yeah, no, yo, what do you think? Because the Chargers, frankly, had no business being in the game at the end of the first half. But basically, the 15-yard penalty to get them the free kick, the 15-yard penalty on the roughing the linebacker that hit Herbert in the head, and the 15-yard, there was another 15-yard penalty. 3 15-yard penalties swung that game completely. Denver should have had the game. Like, they should have rode the momentum all the way to the end, and they just didn't do it because they made bad mistakes. And then the Chargers, to their credit, they played good ball down the stretch, and I thought Herbert had one of his more encouraging, like, game closing kind of I guess just his best, like, performance closing a game that I've seen in a while. So encouraging day for them. But yeah, people. But we had no business winning that game when the Broncos sold them. We outscored them 2 times again. No, this is the thing. Like, when I say they had no business winning, I'm more looking at the Broncos and saying you should have never even had it possible for the Chargers to make a comeback like that, right? It's the Broncos just incompetence to open the crack in the window, and you guys completely just slid the window open and made the most of that situation. So full credit to the Chargers for making the most of the opportunity. But bro, it's on Denver to not give the other team the opportunity, and they completely sold. There's a flag on the play here that's probably going to even mess the yardage up even more. But yo, Genwo, this is the thing. It was 21 to 10 before the free kick, right? And if you look at what happened there, when Herbert threw that pick at 21-10, I thought the game was completely fine. When Herbert threw the pick, that pick is supposed to cost you. And then if you look at what Denver did, right? They mismanaged the end of the clock. I'm telling you, they didn't have to punt. They completely mismanaged the clock. It should have been a 2-score game. They interfered with the punter, right? Like that should have been a 2-score game. And if it's a 2-score game, the second half looks completely different. And yeah, and like if that happens, if it happens, the second half looks different, and I don't think the Chargers make it back. But 2 bad mistakes allows them to kick a field goal, allows them to make it a 1-score game, and it just unraveled for there. It means that's crazy. So and in this sport, bro, Prime, the way they call penalties is the referees, they have these little yellow flags. It's like it's a yellow cloth with some kind of weight in it so that it like has some weight. And basically they have these flags in their pockets and they throw them on the field to signify that a penalty happened, and then they announce the penalty afterwards. So when you see a flag on the play, you just see that when you say that, you see the referee through the flag and that there's a penalty. And then sometimes you can judge what the penalty would be based on the location of where the referee is that threw the flag and when he threw it. But yeah, 100%. Penalties are more like free kicks. But basically, Prime, I mean, like, because you must be familiar with like rugby and stuff. But like the same way in those kind of sports where it's just a contest for territory, it's about going one side to the other. Penalties in this sport basically move you back or move you in the direction you're not trying to go. So it's just like that's the consequence. This is true, man. This raid does hang out. I appreciate them. What causes a penalty? It could be a bunch of things. Like the main penalties or like the main concept of a lot of penalties is that like you're allowed to stop a person from moving by successfully anticipating where they're going to be and getting in front of them, right? But for example, if a guy is running past me and I just grab hold of his shirt to stop him from running, that's a penalty, right? Similarly, my way of stopping somebody from catching the ball is I'm supposed to position myself so that I'm between them and the ball. But if that's not the case and I fail and somebody has an opportunity to catch the ball and I swat their hand or I hit their hand so that they can't catch it, that's also a penalty. So it's just like, those are the main concepts of penalties is like, hey, you can't stop people from moving or stop people from doing things that they've earned the space to do so. Like general concept. But yeah, holding people, hitting people's hands when they're trying to catch the ball. Sometimes basically a player like the ball is here. Like for example, the ball starts here on a play. All the offensive players are on one side of the ball. All the defensive players on the other side of the ball. If you accidentally line up too close to the ball, that's a penalty as well. That's how it is. But basketball, that's like a blocking foul when it defending someone. He's not a ball fan either, though, to be honest. I think he asked me one time about Andre Drummond. Tactical foul. So if the foul is malicious or has intent to be, is a flag on the play. So there's not many penalties that are about intent. A lot of the penalties are just a matter of fact of you either did something wrong or you didn't, and we're going to penalize you yardage based on that. But yeah, a flag on the play, it's anytime a rule is broken. Yeah, anytime a rule is broken. Like the malicious penalties all carry like severe fouls, I guess, carry more malicious like why am I fumbling with words like this today? Carry like more severe penalties. So if you like, let's say you hit somebody, like you decide to just punch somebody, the penalty is going to be 15 yards. So wherever your team had the ball, they're going to have to move back 15 yards. But if you do something like I said, like holding somebody, that's 10 yards. If you're accidentally too close to the ball, that's 5 yards, right? There's these little incremental penalties of yardage depending on which rule you broke. But every time a rule is broken, yeah, they throw the flags on the field to signify that, hey, a rule was broken. But yeah, man, the raid's been hanging out. I appreciate you guys. This is like tactical fouls such as interfering with the player trying to catch the ball or somebody scrimmages. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could tactically do pass interference in the end zone to stop the team from scoring. But yeah, bro, King, this game is definitely over. But yeah, I am as I believe my homies in the UK would say I'm knackered. I'm very knackered right now. So the stream was supposed to end. Then the chat got bumping, so we hung around. But the game's still done. Like I'm very little investment in what happened to this game going forwards or going forward. Baker throws it to Palmer out of bounds. Bucks have 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning, so 3 stoppages of the clock. Yeah, the chat is booming. But yeah. 1st and 10 for the Bucks. Baker takes a shot to the sidelines. I saw the Rams stats earlier. Genoa, was that not depressing to see? I don't know what happened to the Rams after the Bills. They smoked the Bills and then scored 12 points against the Niners and 19 against the Jets. Absolutely crazy. Against 2 bad defenses too. People don't respect those defenses this year. Yeah, I mean, Stafford barely had passing yards generally. Damn, Baker got another receiver killed. What is he doing? Today, man, it's like he's just a step slow. What was the result of Panthers won in overtime? 36-32. 36-30. It was a high-scoring game. Man, this DB is down, but they're really gonna extend the hell out of this game. It really doesn't deserve all this. Let's go, Gail. Let's go. Gail's keeping score. Hey, man, 143, road to 150. We're going to get to 150 before the end of the regular season, I hope. Show respect to the DB. I hear it, but I don't know, man. Baker to the end zone, wide open for a touchdown. I don't even know who this is because I would have said Scotty Miller, but I learned that Scotty Miller is on the Steelers. That's Ryan Miller. Who is Ryan Miller? Let me look this up. What is Buddy's name? Ryan Miller. Yo, they showed me a hockey goalie. Ryan Miller of the Bucks. Undrafted in 2023 out of Furman. Yo, I didn't know that there was a Ryan Miller. Damn, the Raiders won. Yeah, the Raiders won, messed up their draft positioning, and celebrated the win over the Jags. Yes, bro, the Giants are definitely getting Shedeur. Especially the way the Sanders family is like denying all the Eli rumors. He's definitely going to the Giants, man. Shedeur to my division. Best of luck with that O-line, brother. So this is the thing too, is like the issue about doing an Eli is that which organization would he do an Eli to? Like who is the team that is close by that could trade up that he would be cool with? Damn, they kept their timeouts too. Fuck, I really got to watch more of this game. Man, shout out to Flawless for the raid, but also the man put me in a spot where I got to watch the rest of this game because of the chat. Colts is wild. Colts is wild, man. Anthony Richardson to the Giants. Anthony Richardson and 2 picks for Shador. Oh my God. They're kicking the ball off. They didn't even go for an onside kick. They're trying to play defense. That is fascinating. I guess I'll watch the Cowboys try to ice this game. Cooper rush, object, get a first down. Get one singular first down. Michael Parsons watches on. I feel like Michael Parsons, he would probably be a good weapon for like moments offensively. I feel like Michael Parsons would be a kick-ass fullback that you could run trick plays with. Surely not the Cowboys. I still think they're going to do okay. Turpin gets absolutely, that's Turpin, right? I thought he had space for a second. He got absolutely smacked, though. Tampa Bay takes their first timeout. Okay, so I guess we learned that Raids Void faded the stream because I just have to keep watching. I really want to go, but things just keep happening. So I just have to keep watching. But I definitely would have called it had I not got a raid like 2 seconds after faded the stream ended. Oh, a hell of a play by 23, though, man. Fighting through the block to make the tackle. First down and stream, 100%. 100%. We actually watched this whole game. Actually, man. 2nd and 11. Cooper rush. Out route to CD. Stay in bounds. You got to stay in bounds. He successfully stayed in bounds. Smart. 40 chest CD Lamb. Let's go. Bucks aren't calling a timeout. Wild. They're going to let the clock run to the 2-minute warning. Fair enough. Agreed. The raid wins over. Yes. The raid literally overpowered, outnumbered, faded the stream. All right. Well, we're at the 2-minute warning. Tampa Bay Tampa Bay has 1 timeout. Well done, Bucks, for not calling a timeout. I guess they're just basically safeguarding against if Dallas throws this ball, then the clock stops and they get the ball with 1 timeout to go. It's almost saving the timeout. But to be honest, you could have called the timeout right after the play and been in the same spot. The same spot. Like, if they throw an incompletion, then you get the ball. They're basically saying we having the ball with 150 and 1 timeout is better than 220 and no timeouts. And I guess that is right. They not faded the stream. This is true, man. Faded FOTS. First time I've seen it as an acronym. Just running Dowdle has been solid. I agree, but they're in the shotgun. Cooper Rush is going to throw for the game. Evan Ferguson gets the ball and gets completely stood up. He's down. He's very down. The Bucks are wilding. He's very down. So Tampa, I guess, calls the timeout here. They called it, right? 4th and 2. Damn, Tampa's going to get the ball back with a chance to win the game. Any of the people who came over from the raid to watch this sport and aren't familiar with the sport, this is the part of the game to turn on. Tampa Bay will go down the field with, truthfully, kind of their season in the balance. This is a huge moment for them. Cowboys, be serious for once. Hey, Taz, if you're lurking, Taz, don't run, don't hide. Make sure you're watching what happens. General, honestly, I'll have to say, you might have been right. You might have been right. We almost pulled the Falcons. This is true. We almost messed up. I'm not trying to have the possibility of playing the Bucks in the wild card. And whoa, Gail, you're really thinking with your third eye right here, right? Maybe the raid changed the fate of the game. Flawless doesn't even know what he did. But yeah, it's always the Bucks, man. Always the Bucks are part of these wild ass games. To end this game, Baker pick. Where are they at? Where are they in the game? They're at their own 26. So they need what? 30 yards gets them to the other team's 44. They need about 35 yards to have a respectable shot at a field goal. They have one timeout. Wait, how do they have one timeout? Oh my God. Baker gets sacked. Oh no, he got it to Rashad White. How many tackles are the Bucks? Oh no, he lost the ball. Holy shit, what a play. What a play, guys. 5 tackles got broken, and completion happened out of nowhere, and a fumble happened. Tampa Bay, you guys are something else. Let's see the referees review this. Tampa Bay, what are you? Guys, this is crazy. They broke like 5 tackles and fumbled the ball. He's done a John Taylor. Man, shout out to Deron Bland. He literally just took the ball from the guy. Yes, that's a fumble. What a mess. I guess I'm glad I stayed for this because what a mess. Rashad White, man. Rashad White. How did Tampa Bay do this? How did they make such a mess out of this? They made a complete mess out of this situation. Look at Baker. He's looking around so shook. He's like, no way. What is this? What happened? General, I feel like I'm obligated to see it through because of the nonsense that I've seen today. Because technically, right, Dallas might have to snap. Oh, no, they're taking knees. But, like, technically, if Tampa takes a timeout, they would have to, like, kill some time on a knee. But yeah, man, what can I say? Absolutely chaotic game. Kind of don't know what to make of this. Look at Kalijah Cansey trying to scare the center into fumbling the ball. At least, like, 100%. This is the big W. Also close and then failed. That is how it ended. But I appreciate everybody that stuck around, especially the raid people, but obviously all the regulars as well. You guys are very appreciated. This was a great stream, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of great conversation. And we're going to be back on Tuesday to do a landscaping stream, but those are always small. The real hangouts like this, the next one is going to be Christmas Day. Obviously, a lot of you guys are going to have things to do with your family. Obviously, family first. Hang out with your peoples, and then if there are little breaks here and there, it would be cool to see you guys in the chat again. But again, family first. Outside of that, I'll be back on Saturday for Broncos Bengals. But like I said, you guys know. Jen, well, I'll be on my basketball channel for Raptors Knicks tomorrow. That's where I'll be. So yeah, but yeah, shout out to you guys. It was a lot of fun. I'll see you guys on Tuesday, and we're out. Salute.